Yo, yo, yo. Oh my goodness. Blockbuster deal, blockbuster deal, blockbuster deal, blockbuster deal. Giannis is headed to Miami. Giannis is a Miami Heat. The first thing I want to do is give major prompts to Pat Riley and that front office in Miami. That's the first thing that I want to do. Why? Because it's been a running joke for some years now that, Miami, you know, it's always reports Miami's in the hunt to get this player and that player and this great player and that great player and this superstar, that superstar. And it does not come to fruition. But now, ladies and gentlemen, the city of Miami has acquired Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, we will look at this trade. Miami did trade a lot, right? And so potentially Giannis is going from the Milwaukee Bucks to the Miami Bucks, but we'll discuss that. We'll see if that is true or not, okay? But let's get into it. So, Giannis traded to Miami, right? And Bobby Portis. Obviously, Thanasis is on his way to Miami. Obviously, right? But, Miami had to give up Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Hami Jaquez, Casper, 3 first-round picks, including the number 13 pick, 1 pick swap, and 1 second-rounder. Who is Giannis finna be playing with? Who is Giannis finna be playing with? Now, a few things. Actually, funny enough, I talked about the Giannis and Bam front court on PC this morning. Shout out to PC. Make sure that you tap into the live. But I had talked about, hey, defensively, that can be, a nightmare to go up against. You got the switchability of Bam, right? With Giannis backline who can still protect the rim and rebound at a high clip. A lot of the times that Miami wanted to switch out Bam, they kind of get vulnerable on the back end as far as rebounding is concerned and rim protection, right? So I think defensively, this can be a really good team. They just traded a lot away. They traded a lot. Okay. And then also this one says that the Heat are sending to Milwaukee unprotected first rounders in 2031 and 2033. As somebody who is turning 29 at the end of this year and was born in 1990 something, hearing 2030 anything sounds odd to me. I'm not going to lie. Right. But back to it. So they're sending to Milwaukee unprotected first rounders in 2031 and 2033, along with the number 13 pick, a pick swap in 2030, and a 2033 second rounder, according to sources. The trade does not include any additional teams. It is a 1-to-1 move. Sources said both the Heat and Bucks will execute the deal on July 6th, which leaves the framework open to see if there are opportunities to expand. So this is a 1-to-1 deal, ladies and gentlemen. No other teams involved. Just simply Miami. Wait, did y'all see that? Did y'all see what I was reading? Or I was just reading. Hold on. Y'all let me know something. Did y'all see this? And then I went back to full screen. Y'all didn't see it? Then I got to do it again. I got to read it again. Okay, so the Heat are sending to Milwaukee unprotected first round because it's gonna be a obviously. Come on now, y'all know I'm finna double dip. I'm finna double dip on this one. We finna double dip live and vid. Come on now, y'all. Come on, y'all can't blame me. I'm a con. Come on now. Come on now. Y'all know what position I'm in now, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know what position I'm in now. Don't get mad at me. Okay, we've built the community to get to this point, and now we're here, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're here. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Shout out to the 400 here. But now, let me get back so I can read it for the vid. The Heat are sending to Milwaukee unprotected first rounders in 2031 and 2033, along with the number 13 pick, a pick swap in 2030, and a 2033 second rounder, according to sources. The trade does not include any additional teams. It is a one-to-one move, sources said. Both the Heat and Bucks will execute the deal on July 6th, which leaves the framework open to see if there are opportunities to expand. So this is a one-to-one move. No other teams involved. Now, I'm pretty sure he posted a full story. Let me see. Again, this goes to what I was talking about earlier as far as Miami landing the big fish. Heat president Pat Riley now makes his long anticipated new landmark acquisition, with Giannis joining elite Miami pickups such as LeBron James, Shaq, Chris Bosh, Alonzo Mourning, and Jimmy Butler over the past 30-plus years. Riley will pair the two-time NBA MVP and 2021 Finals MVP with Bam to lead contention in the Eastern Conference. After informing teams that they were open for business at the NBA Draft Combine in May, Bucks general manager John Horst landed a haul with the Heat's offer that brings high-level starting/rotation players and young talent, as well as significant draft capital. Shout out to Milwaukee, because they did. Hey, no, look, Mars, you can get the link right now. Stop playing. See how see how when you said something in the chat, I responded? Because when I said I wanted to talk about Kobe, you ain't say nothing. I'm finna sit. Hey, Mars, I'm literally chat. I want y'all to know I'm finna send Mars the link right now. Now he's finna be like, watch. I'm finna send the link right now. Watch this. Watch this, people. Watch this. Here we go. Where we at? Let me send the link real quick. Boop. Bam. I may be frozen right now, so forgive me. Right? Mars now has the link. Mars won't pull up. Castro. Shout out to my boy Castro. He got Giannis on his team. I'm happy for you, boy. I'm happy for you, Castro. I might send you the link. I ain't gonna lie. Castro, I might send you the link. See, I be happy for my people. I be happy for my people. I don't hate. I'm happy for Castro. I'm happy for Miami Heat fans. Because, again, it's been a running joke. It's been a running joke how Miami always is in the hunt for these big-name players and never get them. Mars, you're disgusting. I haven't even sent you the link yet. Mars does not like me. Right? But I found out early, right? They say keep your friends close, and you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But look, shout out to Miami, for real. Shout out to Miami. You now have the link, Mars. Shout out to Miami. I am concerned. I'm concerned a bit about their roster. Now, actually, before then, let's get back because I do want to see, because he said something about Boston, because Boston seemed to be the front runner in this deal. and then we're going to read the full story after that, right? We're going to read the full story. We read the information, okay? We read the info. The Celtics aggressively pursued Giannis, offering Milwaukee a package featuring 2024 Finals MVP Jaylen Brown and 2 first-rounders. There was somebody on PC this morning that sent in a super chat that said the Bucks are simply just trying to disrupt what's happening in Boston. Let the Jaylen Brown trade rumors happen again, just for them to not make the deal to Boston and trade with Miami anyway. Somebody dead said that. Shout out to you, whoever that was with the super chat. Hey, sometimes conspiracy theories don't be too wrong. Mars, where's your camera and your mic, brother? Camera and your mic. And again, I'm gonna give people their credit. When, you know, maybe they theorize something. Let me see. The Bucks seriously negotiated with 2 finalists in recent weeks, Miami and Boston, which were both on Giannis's list of preferred destinations. Okay, and then he does have a full story right here. Boom, boom, boom. Now let's see what's happening. What's happening? Hold on, let me see. Oh wow! Look who this. I actually now have to put on my headphones and stuff because I got to hear somebody else speak. Hold on, let me get ready. Waiting on the connection. Device connected. Okay. Mars, how you doing?
Hello. I just see how I'm treated around here. It's cool though.
Brother.
It's crazy, right?
Brother.
I was in the midst of making a thumbnail because I was gonna go live, and you know what I was doing? I was like, let me message Real Talk. I'm gonna send him the link because you know I was gonna go live and invite you up, but then I was like, let me see if Real Talk's live. There's no way he would go live and not tell me after he was asking me about Town Hall on Wednesday. There's no way we have a reason to have Town Hall today, and he's not gonna send me a link. And then I check his channel. I see he's live. I'm like, there's no way he would desert me like this after I was going to send you the link to come up on my channel while I was making the thumbnail. But then I saw you did it and I was like, wow, okay, I just see how I'm treated around here. But, you know, it's cool. I now have that compartmentalized. So for future reference, you know, I'll just remember where my standings are. It's cool. I never worked so hard to make a thumbnail in my life. And I was there about to send you the link. Just see your live, just chilling with no MarzTalksSports. They even think about me, but you know it's cool. Whatever. I see where I stand.
So here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, shout out to Mars. Mars recently has been in his content creator bag. These aren't golf claps; these are real. You know what I'm saying? You've been doing your thing. I've been seeing you over there, right? But we still know Mars, and his sample size says right doesn't want to do too much in one particular week, right? So I'm saying, hey, if I go live right now and I ask Mars to do this and then still do a town hall in 2 days, he'll be like, oh no, it's either or. It's one or the other. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and go live myself today so we can still have that scheduled for Wednesday, because he definitely wouldn't want to do both. That was my assumption. Okay, if I was wrong in that assumption, you know, my bad. Apology. But
it's cool.
You know, from what I know, I didn't want to be like, hey, you want to do this stream and you want to do the town hall this week? It would have been like, I don't know. I got to talk about why Bron's better than Kobe for the 45th time. I don't know. So look, okay, and have somebody to defend Kobe a little bit better next time. Okay, if you're going to do it.
Okay, first of all,
that's it.
He reached out to me.
He was cool.
He reached out to me 6 months ago.
Meech?
Yeah, that's Meech. Yeah, he reached out to me 6 months ago, and I thought it would be interesting. I think it was interesting. Now the people in my comments ain't like me too much. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. The reason because I had no plans on doing a Kobe and LeBron con. That doesn't really interest me. But he reached out. I was like, why not? And it was a successful story. So it worked out.
It was that. It was that. And again,
Thank you
these
very
are
much.
real
Thank you very
claps again. Okay, but to the Giannis trade. Okay. First off, what are your first impressions on the trade? What do you think about Miami making the move? I feel like Pat Riley, in his attempt and failures, quite frankly, and wanting to land a big fish, maybe, possibly overplayed his hands in this one to acquire one. What say you?
Generally, I try not to have like huge thoughts on trades 20 minutes after they happen because like you have to like think these things through, I think. But first instinct is I think it's a good trade. That's my first instinct. But I'm also notoriously haven't been the highest on like every player they gave up. Well, mine is Yaku Jonas.
Okay.
No one's really heard my opinion on Yaku Jonas, but even him in the draft, I was like, he's cool, but he's not gonna stop a Giannis trade for me, personally.
Correct.
I'm not the highest on Jaime. Haven't really been, like, generally speaking. I don't view that as a major loss. I'm definitely not the highest on Khalil Ware. That's someone who I've been very vocal about. And
You are not.
yeah,
you are
I'm
not.
definitely not the highest on Khalil Ware. And then Tyler Hero, I think, is a cool player, but I think his flaws just weren't gonna suffice in Miami. So I look at it as Yaku Jonas he's not a playoff player as of now, in my opinion. Jaime, in my opinion, is not a playoff player. And then Khalil Ware, in my opinion, is not a playoff player. So they've traded 3 non-playoff players, one questionable one in Tyler Hero, for a top 5 player on the planet. And then they've kept all the ones who I would rely on to be playoff players. Paul Larson, I think, could be good for them in a postseason setting. Bam, Davion, Wiggins. I don't like Norman Powell either, but they have Norman Powell. And then they got to fill out the rest of the roster. The only thing that was missing was they should have just packed up Jovic as well. But everything else, like, is
Oh, they believe in Jovic. Jovic,
like, if it was possible, if it was possible, I would have traded Jovic instead of Khalil Ware. If it was possible. Now, I don't know if that was possible, but that's what I would have led with, at least to begin with. But I think it's a good trade. Do I think they're now the best team in the East right now? No, but I think they're a good team. And you have Giannis, which is always good. So yay, Giannis.
Yeah, I would just feel like I would have liked to keep Khalil. I'm higher on Khalil than I think you are, especially him in a very advantageous situation. And to me, that means like a real dominant offensive player playing alongside him. Like, I don't think he's been in that situation. I think he could be a fantastic play finisher around somebody like potentially a Giannis. We'll see if they can, figure out a high-low game or something like that. I don't know if he's a good enough shooter, because maybe Giannis is asking him to, shoot some threes. I was hoping that whatever tweet I saw about Khalil Ware to the Lakers was real. I was just crossing my fingers for that.
I think he would be okay for you guys. Yeah, I think he'd be okay for you guys.
A Khalil Ware lob threat for Luka Doncic, like, I think he could have been really good. So I don't know. I feel like he can slot correctly if you give him the correct position. Now, do I think that he has some of the upside that some others think? Probably not. But I do think he can be a really good player. I don't know if I agree with you as far as Jaime Jaquez not being a playoff player. I don't know. I kind of like some of the things he does. He drives well.
He does.
Can play in transition.
He does.
I think he can make good rim reads when he, I'm not saying
I think he's a good passer. And I think, I think he's a good passer. I agree.
I do think he could definitely get some minutes on a play. Now, starter, no.
Yeah,
but
some minutes, sure, but
some minutes, a rotation piece or something. I wouldn't have mind if Miami had him coming off the bench on this team. That's what I'm saying. Like, that would have been cool, in my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah, but I'm also with you. Like, I don't see them as the favorites in the East, though. And it's like, would you make a deal for a top 5 player, especially one that's not like, it's not like Giannis is young. This isn't like, oh, the Lakers got Luka, so even if you're not immediately the best in the conference, theoretically you have some time because he's 25 at the time of the deal and whatnot. So you have like some leeway. When you get Giannis, if you're Miami and he's 30, or how old is Giannis? 30, 31?
I think he's gonna be 32. I think.
Going to be 32.
I might be wrong. Let me check.
Yeah, that's supposed to be like, yeah, we're contending right now. Like, that's to me, that's what makes sense.
Yeah,
okay.
Turning 32 in December.
So 31 going on 32. I don't know if this team is good enough to win right now. But again, you're right. This is the first. We haven't seen a dribbled yet. We haven't seen a shot yet. But just off of the roster makeup. Now, granted, this is Eric Spoelstra. We've seen Eric Spoelstra get every squeeze out of a lemon that you can squeeze, right? So, hey, you get a Giannis, you got a Bam. I mentioned earlier in the video, like, it's funny, I was talking about them as a duo defensively earlier on PC this morning. Like, I do think Wiggins, Bam, Giannis front court defensively is moving me. Davion is cool enough as a POA, point of attack. I'm moved. I do think they can be a really good defensive team. I'm just looking at this roster and I'm questioning like the offensive ceiling that they can hit. Like, yeah.
One thing that's interesting, and obviously we don't know how Miami's going to play next year, but based on what they did this year, being the fastest paced team in the league, yeah, Giannis did that.
Now, hey, like, you had the best transition player to the
forget winning, just forget winning, but just think individually for the Giannis FC people. You put Giannis on the fastest paced team in the league.
Hey,
I won't see 34, 12, and 7.
Why is that out of the realm? Why is it out of the realm of possibility?
Just logically thinking, you put Giannis in the situation because the Bucks have been like one of the worst transition teams in the league for whatever reason. Shout out to Kuzma. And Giannis has still been doing what he does. So you put Giannis in that situation now, where all the times where Jaime's grabbing and going coast to coast, it's now number 34. All the times that Bam's grabbing and going, finds Giannis. All those hit-ahead passes that are going to a Tyler Hero, Norman Powell so they can shoot pull-up threes. It's now Giannis filling the lanes and he's getting to the rim, drawing fouls. That should be very interesting. Defensively, I do think it depends on, like, does Giannis have that, like, new team bounce in terms of, like, motor where, like, you want to prove yourself or like show that you're part of the team, so you're going to be maximum effort. If you get that Giannis, it's like, okay. If you get Giannis, it's like, let me just live off my defensive reputation. Because I don't think Wiggins was like great on defense this year. I think he's cool. I think Paul Larson's a good defender. I think Davion's a good defender, obviously, and then Bam. So like, I still think you have the makings of good defense. Plus, Spo can definitely get very creative with like how he uses Giannis and like the zones and stuff that they do because of like his ground coverage. So like that flexibility is interesting. Curious to see like if they still run no pick and roll. Are we going to see Giannis never used as a screener, which is like have been people's biggest gripe with Giannis, I guess, is that he's not a great screener. If he's in a situation where he never has to screen, maybe that's fine. But then you don't get no Giannis like big inverted pick and rolls. That was the word. You don't get no Giannis inverted pick and rolls with anyone because they don't really have any perimeter threats. That's the biggest concern I have right now, just looking at the roster. Because I've never really bought into the Norman Powell stuff. I don't see it. But they lack major perimeter creation, in my opinion. I think, do they have money? because they got off Tyler Hero's contract. But then who else? Like Kalel's not making a whole lot. Yakuchonis obviously isn't making a lot, and Jaime isn't making a lot. So did they even clear any money, or did they just absorb Giannis's salary into what they already had?
Let me see if that is up here in the story I was going to read. Let us see. Wait, where'd you go? Wait a minute. Boom. There we go. So here's the Shams full report. The Milwaukee Bucks are trading franchise icon Giannis and Bobby Portis to the Miami Heat. Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Casper, 3 first-round picks, including number 13 in Tuesday's NBA draft, 1 pick swap, and 1 second-round pick, sources told ESPN. The Heat are sending to Milwaukee unprotected first-rounders in 2031, 2033, along with number 13, a pick swap in 2030 and 33, second rounder, according to sources. This trade does not include any additional teams. We have read that. I'm trying to see if there's any new information. Last June, the Suns and Houston Rockets agreed to a deal that ultimately increased to a historic 17 trade. Heat president Pat Riley now makes his long-anticipated new. We read that on. Let me see. There's no new information, nor does there seem to be any information that's going to talk about what you were talking about or looking for the answer that you.
The chat said they're under the first apron, so I'll just take the chat's word for it.
Okay.
If I'm the Heat, I'm looking for me. Davion, Giannis, Bam, and Wiggins with Pell Lawson. I like Pell Lawson. Those 5 are the 5 that I'm keeping around for the most part. Now, if something comes up and I need to get off one of them for like a major upgrade, cool. But for the most part, that's my foundation. Those 5. And then everyone else, I'm shopping for perimeter creation. I'm shopping Norman Powell. If you can somehow get value for not value, you can get something for Drew Smith. Jovic, please get off the team. Like if you can,
they're not getting rid of Jovic. They like Jovic.
That they should. And Giannis should come in and then just drop his nuts on the table and get Jovic off the team. That's what he needs to do. Because if they're trying to win, Jovic does not help it. So, yeah, for me personally, perimeter creation. I don't know who that is. I don't know what guards are available within like a reasonable amount of money to make that viable. But if they do exist, that would be the priority. Someone who can make pull-up threes off the bounce. Someone who doesn't need screens, because obviously we know how they play. But if they can play with them, that would be great. But someone who doesn't need screens. Like even maybe like a couple smaller scale deals of like guys who can create, but like maybe you just divide the responsibility out amongst like 2 or 3 people. Maybe like you call up a Memphis and be like, what's the price on Ty Jerome? Like, because he's making like 9 million and he's better than Jovic. So like if you could get like a Ty Jerome for a Jovic and maybe a Ty Jerome and a Cam Spencer for a Jovic. Now you add Cam Spencer, elite shooter, Ty Jerome, who I think at least in the regular season at least, really good creator. And obviously you have the athletic limitations, but when you surround him with a bunch of athletes and Davion, Giannis, Bam, Wiggins, should be able to mitigate some of those athletic concerns in my opinion. I don't know who else there really is. Because obviously you're not going to trade with like the contenders and whatnot because they're also trying to contend. So I don't think you could get like a Peyton Pritchard who I think could be decent for you guys. Speaking for Miami, obviously.
Anthony is a name. Somebody just in the chat. Now,
I guess
does Anthony make real money?
I actually don't know. I could check. Anthony Simons, I guess, could be interesting.
A Malik
Kobe
Monk?
White would be interesting. Kobe White could be interesting. A Malik Monk, maybe. Is there any other names of guys who are like cheap? Jordan Poole, no, thank you. But those type
Malik
of
Monk
moves
is kind of interesting because to an extent it is Giannis, right? So it's not even like there's this fallacy, in my opinion. I think it's a fallacy that like Giannis needs a an ISO creator at the end of the game to like win. I don't necessarily think that to be true. I think he needs a good enough ball handler that can bring the ball up the court, be effective in pick and roll, and at least make defenses pay if they just kind of ignore you on ball. Like, to me, Malik Monk damn near is good enough. Like, damn near. I'm not saying that he is, but like, hey, Malik, can you punish a defense if they are trying to stop? Let's say we have Giannis. I know we are just talking about him not, setting in screens, stuff like that. But like, I don't think that's going to be the case because Giannis is way too great of a mismatch attacker to not get any mismatches with him as a screener. To me, that just doesn't even make.
I think I was one who was like critical of like his tandem with Dame as a screener, and then like ultimately, I think a lot of I'm not saying it's because of me, but I think a lot of people then started running with Giannis just can't screen. Like at the end of the day, Giannis has major screening gravity because he is Giannis.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Do I think he's a selfish screener? Yes. Do I think he's a hard screener? No. Do I think he's great at like screening for his teammates? No. But inherently, because of the role threat he is, he's going to draw attention when he screens.
Absolutely.
So he can work with like lesser guards. I just think with Dame, it wasn't great in large part because in order to play with Dame, you have to be a selfless screener. And Giannis just wasn't.
Yeah, Dame is looking for you to set a good
Middleton
screen so I can come off and shoot.
Yeah, like it worked with Middleton and stuff. And also when the screen's closer to the rim, I think it also causes more problems. But like, yeah, it works with Middleton. He was a really good pick and roll partner with Middleton. Like he had a good synergy with Kevin Porter Jr. in pick and roll. So like, I think people have gone a bit too far on the Giannis screening thing, in my opinion.
And then can that player make an open shot? Because if he'd run screen and roll with Giannis, and let's say the plan is to go under because we're trying to, give an extra quarter of a second to help guard Giannis on this roll and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Malik, can you like hit that shot? He can't. I don't need Malik. Malik to me, or the person doesn't need to be this outstanding player, but just like, can you shoot? Can you make shots consistently? And can you handle the ball? And can you run pick and roll? Like, I don't think it's that complicated. Especially with how good I think Giannis has just gotten, even like out of the post. I want to see Giannis in the post a lot more. Truth be told, I think he's a really good post player. And I think that most people down there, even still to this day, he's lost a step, but he's still very much so quicker than most bigs in the league, like by a long shot. So you just see him like he'll get a big in the post, boom, quick move. There's nothing they can do. They're too slow. He'll quick spin them, dunk, dribble drive them, lay. Like he's got to be in the post, mid post a little bit more than me. I think you can go to Giannis to close games now. I just think he's gotten that much better as an offensive player.
That's what someone said, Tyus Jones. Oh my God.
Yeah, we need to stop bringing up names like Tyus and D'Lo in my chat, please. Please.
I found out today D'Lo's a Wizard.
Oh, interesting.
No, he's been there for 4 months. We just
oh. I thought he was still in Dallas.
Yeah, we just forgot. I thought he was still in Dallas. About his existence. So salute to D'Angelo Russell.
What do you think about, or what do you think the pivot is for a Boston? Like, what do you think their frame of mind is right now?
I don't think there needs to be a major pivot in terms of like, obviously they offered Jaylen Brown for Giannis, and now Jaylen Brown is back on the roster. I don't think that then means, okay, we need to now get Jaylen Brown off the team because chemistry or whatever people are thinking. I think you do need to make the roster better, but I still think Jaylen Brown and I still think Derek White is a good player. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Derek White,
For sure.
I think is a fine core three. I think you just got to upgrade your bigs. You need more viable offensive pieces at the center position. I know not Vucevic. You gotta just improve the depth of the roster around. I'm not gonna call them a big. We'll call it the core three. I don't know what that means for them. I know I saw like they're looking at like a Rudy Gobert for Derek White type thing. Now that is a move I probably would make, to be fair. So like Derek White's not untouchable. I think Rudy Gobert would help them, but generally speaking, if you have Peyton Pritchard,
Who do you start then?
then?
Do you just start Peyton Pritchard?
It would be. I mean, Peyton Pritchard started a lot of this year, but I guess because Jason Tatum wasn't there or whatever. But it would be Rudy at the 5, Tatum at the 4. Yeah, Peyton Pritchard at the 1, and then Jaylen Brown at the 2 or the 3, wherever you have. Then you have to obviously get a wing, whoever that wing is. I don't know.
Hugo,
or you believe it? Yeah, or you believe in like Ugo taking a jump, Jordan Walsh, being good enough to like be your star. But me personally, no. I think you should be looking at like an upgrade there. And then you have like Cater as your backup big, which I think is good for him because I think we saw in the playoffs like the limitations of Cater as your starting big. It's great, offensive rebounding, cool. Fouls too much. The discipline on defense just isn't great, and offensively, he's too limited. Like he's exclusively a play finisher. Now we know Rudy Gobert is that, but he's also one of the best defenders of all time, whether people want to admit that or not. And then I like Jordan Walsh, assuming he obviously continues to develop. Ugo Gonzalez, once again, nice.
I really like Jordan Walsh. Like,
I know you've been singing his praises ever since he locked up Tyrese Maxey in isolation.
What? Not just that.
That was the first time I heard you singing Jordan Walsh.
He guards the ball really well. He really does.
I agree. I just don't like that the first time I ever heard you bring it up was when he guarded Tyrese Maxey. So yeah, cool,
respect Tyrese.
I do, just not as an isolation creator. It's like cool, I guess. He locked me up.
I mean, he's still fast.
He is, which is why it's even more baffling that he can't create separation.
It really is. It really is.
It is what it is.
That to me does like that is a 1 + 1 = 0.5. I will forever not understand Maxey not being, but it's really because he's really just a bad pull-up mid-range shooter. To be honest, he's just bad at that. Like he can create the shot, he just doesn't make it.
Yeah, this horrifically inefficient. Boston's in a weird spot because I think they're a really good regular season team. I just don't think their team is good enough to compete in the playoffs right now. Now I know ultimately no one really had them losing in round 1, obviously, except Philly FC. But just looking at the landscape of the East and then looking at the landscape of the NBA, like I have a hard time seeing this roster beating the Knicks. I have a hard time seeing that. I think the Pistons could cause them problems just based on the defense and the lack of offensive pieces they have around Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Plus my issues with Jaylen Brown as an overall player. Obviously now Miami present a matchup issue because Giannis exists. Outside of them, not really worried about the rest of the conference. I think there's other teams that could be interesting, depending on what they do. But right now, like those would be the teams. And then obviously in the West, you got Denver, you got San Antonio, you got OKC, the Lakers, who have like a lot of potential in terms of what they can do with their roster. Obviously with Luka, we need to see what the Timberwolves do because they also made a big move. But yeah, Boston. I think Boston are the biggest losers of the day, which is funny because the Bucks lost Giannis, but I think Boston is still the biggest losers of the day. So yeah.
Yeah, I do think I don't know. Does Jaylen Brown like feel some type of way now that he knows?
He felt some type of way because people weren't calling him the MVP. So I don't know. I think he might just.
He probably does feel some.
He might just be in an eternal state of feeling some type of way. That might just be him.
That's true. That actually would explain a lot of his demeanor. Actually,
Yeah, when
Uh,
Michael Jordan does it, he's the GOAT. When he's just mad about everything, he's look, mentality. So maybe Jaylen Brown's just borrowing from that playbook. Just be mad at a bunch of nonsense.
I mean, but see, here's the thing, Mars. When you're a good enough player, you're allowed to be childish. If you're not, then it's a knock on you, unfortunately. Now, but yeah, I think I can agree with that though. Like Boston does kind of need to regroup. I do agree with the getting better at the center position for sure. That was just a glaring hole come playoff time. Embiid beat them like dead ass. It was in their inability to deal with
And it
Joel
could have been
Embiid.
Zubac and Caruso who could have beat them because that's what I was told. So obviously they're far away, right?
Do you not think that Caruso and Zubac vastly improved their chances? Wait, what? I forgot what scenario that was anyway. What? Look, hey, you're bringing up
The
old
Sixers
stuff.
beat
You're
Boston
bringing
with
up old.
Zubac and Caruso instead of Embiid.
You're
That's what you
bringing
told
up
me.
old.
But yeah, it's
It
cool.
definitely heightens their chances for sure.
Mhm.
1,000%. Um. Oh, you talking about them on Philly, not them on
Yeah.
Boston.
Yes. Yeah. You told me without Embiid, replace Embiid with Zubac and Caruso, they beat Boston. But salute.
Yeah, if Tatum doesn't play game 7, absolutely. If Tatum doesn't play game 7, absolutely. I'm rolling with Philly. But damn, see, now you've made me forget what I was talking about. That was just supposed to be segue to something else, but you harbored down on that. Now I forgot what I was talking about.
You're talking about Boston in the playoffs and like their chances.
Oh yeah. Them upgrading that center, a desperate need. I do like them. I want to start Pritchard, especially with and I don't mind giving up Derek White either. I'm with you on that. I don't mind giving up Derek White. Now for Rudy Gobert, uh, but I don't mind giving up Derek. Rudy Gobert is such a conundrum for me because I do very much so see the great defensive floor that he gives your team and ceiling because he'll contribute to both. Actually, the more I've like had to separate players and this player really raised your floor and this player really raised your ceiling. Most great players just do both of them.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's really not a need to separate that. It's damn near the same thing. But anywho, Rudy Gobert makes you a great defense. Absolutely. 1,000%. That is undeniable. He's one of the best defenders in the world and of all time. I agree with you on that. However, that man has real offensive limitations, like real ones. And to me, it's like, damn, you really do sometimes hold back a team's ceiling offensively. And I know that even like from the tracking data with Rudy Gobert on the floor, most teams actually have a better offense when he's on the floor. And ironically enough.
They put him in offensively slanted lineups, but
Yeah, it's exactly. But it's like when you watch him play, it's like, no, Rudy Gobert isn't helping offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, he can't catch, doesn't finish well, terrible free throw shooter. Like, we don't have to name the thing. Can't shoot at all, no touch around the bat, all of the above, right? So it's like, I don't know if I'm willing to give up Derek White for that, but I am willing to give up Derek White.
I'm willing to give up everyone but Jason Tatum.
I had Boston as a lock on getting Giannis. Like that's really what I believed. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, no, they're getting Giannis. Miami has kind of struck out a few times, getting the big fish. Boston is, a very well ran organization. I thought that Jaylen Brown was going to be like the best player you can get in return for Giannis if they were trying to compete. And I do still think that you can flip Jaylen Brown if you want to get like draft capital out of that as well. Like I thought the Celtics were going to get Giannis.
I think it's very possible Jaylen Brown's value wasn't as high as people perceive it to be. I'm sure if the Bucks did their due diligence, they called around asking teams what they could get for Jaylen Brown, assuming they were going to get Jaylen, because the Celtics package was what, Jaylen Brown and some picks or whatever. So I'm sure they probably called around asking what they could get in return for Jaylen Brown, and it probably just wasn't more valuable than what the Heat were offering for Giannis. So they ended up just taking, like, we said, how many picks did they get? Like 3 picks, 3 firsts? Tyler Hero, Jaime, Yaku Chonis, Kelel Ware. So Tyler Hero is what, 25?
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Hero is a 25 young scoring guard. He's also from out there, which I guess might be a bonus. Kelel Ware, young, promising big, loads of potential. I think even if you're not the highest on Kelel Ware, you can see what the potential upside would be in theory. Jaime Jaquez obviously had like a really good 6 Man of the Year campaign. Obviously has a bunch of redeeming qualities as well. Yaku Chonis, a rookie guard who people were projecting top 10 prior to his freshman season. Like that's how the upside was with him as like a pick and roll creator and playmaker and can make shots and all that stuff. Could the Bucks have got more for Jaylen Brown than what the Heat offered for Giannis? If the answer was no, that's probably why they just took the Giannis deal. They probably took the Heat deal. Also, it might just be part of it that Giannis ain't want to go to Boston because 34 is retired, and he ain't want to change numbers. Shout out to Paul Pierce.
There's no way that was a determining factor. There's just
could be. It could be. Maybe Giannis don't want to Devin Booker it and just change his jersey number in year 26. Maybe he's like, I want to wear 34. So no.
Because the better team is him on Boston.
Okay, but which team can he wear 34?
But I'm saying if you're Giannis, like, is it not about like winning right now? Like, because if you were
win in Miami,
but you can't though.
But maybe he thinks he can.
But I'm saying he's incorrect. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm determining that he is incorrect with that.
So you think they have a 0% chance as presently constructed? Obviously, things can change, and then you can change your opinion, assuming they retool the roster even more. But as presently constructed, add Giannis onto the team, knowing what they have right now, you think they have 0 chance of winning?
0. That team is not a good enough offensive team.
What's their ceiling to you? Don't say around, because ultimately, like, if they get an easy run, they end up in the conference, man. Like, what's their ceiling in terms of how good they are in the, like, at their best? Are they the 5th best team in the league, 4th, 7th? Like, at their best, where do they stand in the league?
They're not better than OKC. They're not better than San Antonio. They're not better than the Knicks. This team is not better than Minnesota.
Minnesota with what they have right now, which is obviously no Dante. Randall's gone now.
This is
not saying Randall being gone
by
is a problem.
subtraction.
You're not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying so. No Dante, no point guards. Naz Reid is your starting power forwards. Like, all the questions Minnesota have, they're still better than Miami.
Well, considering the Dante, I wasn't taking into account the Dante, maybe because of that, but also I do think that very quickly, because it's a good sign up. Thank you for bringing up the Timberwolves. I think they're in the backup big business right now, because Nas was the backup big. Unless you think they're going to play the Berringer kid.
He's going to be in Summer League. I think Summer League might actually determine how they feel about their backup big situation. If he goes out and looks ready in Summer League, they might be cool with him. If he looks like he's still a year or 2 away, they might have to speed up the process in terms of getting a backup big. And they might actually have to trade him. I don't know, because it depends how serious they are about contending right now, even though Ant is, 25? Turning 25? But I want to speed it up a little bit.
But you have to speed it up right now not only to show Ant that, hey, we're still trying to build this thing, but it's like your second best player, arguably, is Rudy Gobert's 35.
He was drafted in 2013, and he was young. He was 19, so 33, 34, I think. I might be wrong on that. We'll just check.
But he's getting
34.
old.
He's 34.
He's
Yeah,
34.
Well, he turned
Yeah,
34 in a couple days. Yeah.
So to me, it's like if you're keeping Rudy Gobert, if you're Minnesota, to me that signals, oh, we're still trying to win right now. Otherwise, we would get off of Rudy.
Yeah.
So yeah, they need to be trying to win because Rudy is still good. And I do think that Rudy is a good enough player to be on a championship team. Now, I think the backup big for him needs to be so good that we can potentially have that backup big in some playoff settings, like play just as many minutes as Rudy Gobert, and we can live with that. So, like Mitchell Robinson, Robert Williams type good, because that's how good you would have to be for that. Because there are certain instances I genuinely feel him being that bad of an offensive player is truly hurting the team. But the problem that they've run into over and over again is that, hey, when we sub out Rudy Gobert, our defense goes to shit. But if it's Mitchell Robinson or if it's Robert Williams, I feel like they can survive those minutes defensively, if not still be a good defensive unit, while I think both of them are still better offensive players than Rudy Gobert, in my opinion.
I would look at Mitchell Robinson if I was the Wolves. I don't know what the price of Robert Williams. I'm a bit more iffy on him. Obviously the health stuff. Defensively, I'm not as high on him as I am Mitchell Robinson in terms of being able to anchor a defense. I think he's more like the backline roaming type, but not like an actual middleman on defense, which I think. But also, on the flip side, maybe you don't just want a Rudy Gobert clone, which is in kind of what Mitchell Robinson would be. Maybe you want to have like a different look when you go away from the Rudy Gobert minutes, because if Rudy Gobert becomes unplayable, the answer can't be just putting another Rudy Gobert variant.
Yeah, true. But I do think that Mitchell Robinson showed, at least to me, and I said, like, Mitchell kind of moves better than some people give him credit for.
Sure.
Like he was able to guard Wemby well. Wemby is a very mobile big. Like that's not, and for somebody at that size be able to do that, like, very impressive. But yeah, I think they're in the backup big market, but obviously something that has been rumored for them is the John Morant noise. Been a lot of John Morant noise. Don't know if this happens or anything like that. I have no insiders, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
think they I just saw a report. I don't know if it was legit because I was just scrolling the timeline. I just saw a report saying they were pivoting from John Morant and looking at a different option at guard. But once again, it might have just been a nonsensical account because I was just scrolling. It wasn't like I was seeking it out. But I'm not the biggest fan of Ja in Minnesota. I don't think it's bad. I think some people are kind of sleeping on the fact that John Morant is like good at basketball.
I liked it actually.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think personally, I would be looking at more of a pass for, like, I would be looking more of like a role player coded guard, but like not someone who's a legitimate role player, but like a guard who like thinks,
yeah,
let me get the ball to Ant. Like,
yeah.
So like Tyrese Halliburton would be the ideal. Obviously, but like scale it back multiple layers, obviously, because Tyrese Halliburton would be unavailable. But like that's the kind of guard I'd be looking at. John Moran is more aggressive. Let me touch the paint, collapse the defense, kick out. But it's a lot less deliberate. I want a more deliberate guard next to, and also one who's can hold their own defensively, if not be good. I don't know who that would be, which is why the Derek White stuff kind of intrigued me. Because I think Derek White would be a good guard for them. Not because I view him as like a pure point guard, but even this year they put the ball in his hands a lot. Turnover economy, you know, the new craze around the NBA. Really good at that. Obviously, the percentages didn't say it this year, but I think he's a good shooter. I think Derek White can shoot the basketball. Good decision maker, and then obviously like the defense stuff. He's not a POA, which is what he's been miscast as for like years by like non-watchers or whatever. But like defensively, still like the rim protection stuff is valuable. Maybe now you can play Rudy Gobert higher and like pick and roll and stuff, because now you can have Jaden McDaniels and Derek White as backside rim protectors, which is like now you have legitimate rim protection at your 2 and your 3. And then Naz Reid, just based on virtue of his size, can also provide some of that. Anthony Edwards, when he's motivated, can also provide that. You could legitimately have rim protection at all 5 positions. So yeah, I'd be like, ideally, it would be like prime Lonzo Ball would be like the perfect point guard for them. But obviously,
prime Lonzo Ball ends up being the perfect point guard for a lot of teams. I actually disagree with the concept of Ja on that team. I think him being aggressive and getting paint touches benefits that team. I think that team needs to, if possible, if the guard is good enough as an offensive player, which I think Ja Morant is, I'm trying to take away on ball possessions for Ant. I'm trying to take that down significantly if I can. And I want to turn Ant into, hey, we are running you off pin downs. We're having you run baseline, coming off curve. I'm trying to have Ant.
Well, he needs to show a willingness to do those things.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But I just want Ant to be playing as a scorer as much as possible.
Me too.
Because to me, that is what he does better than damn near everybody else on the planet. Is put ball in hoop.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's definitely a discussion we can have when maybe later. But yeah, the fact that like Anthony Edwards shot damn near 50% on catch and shoot threes, yet there's nobody to create any catch and shoot threes for real on his team. Like, yeah, give me that with Ja Morant. And Io low key when he pushes the pace. Obviously, he's one of the fastest guards in the league. They get out in transition and whatnot. And I think that's also something Ja Morant would do. He would force Anthony Edwards to play in transition. Like, hey, I'm running. You're gonna have to run, brother. Yeah, I would like Ja Morant in Minnesota offensively. Now, defensively, there are some concerns. You still have Rudy Gobert though on your roster. So that's one of the better.
I think we got to be past the days of asking Rudy Gobert to just hide a bunch of mid on defense.
Like, but it's not a bunch of mid because there's also.
I mean, respectfully, and was mids on defense this year. He just was.
Jaden was
Tools FC golf claps. Yeah, cool. Julius Randle bad on defense. He's gone obviously, but Naz Reid is not a good defender either. Like, it would still just be like assuming you get the same level of and effort on defense next year. You're hiding 2 mids, Jaden McDaniels and Rudy doing a lot of heavy lifting because now Ja Morant is on the team. That's 3 mids. And that's me being kind to Ant and Ja because like Ant was probably worse than mid this year, but that's fine. But it's just I don't think that's tenable for winning at the highest level, in my opinion, right now. Like even Cat had to become better than mid. Like Cat had to become legitimately good on defense. Like so, the Knicks have 1 mid, Jalen Brunson, and like he's worse than mid, obviously, but like they have 1 mid. OKC, it goes without saying, 0 mid. Boston when they were winning, who was the mid? There was no mid. It was good defenders. Unless I'm forgetting someone.
Payton.
Cool. I guess you can characterize Payton as mid. I guess. 23, a lot of mid.
A lot of men on 23.
A lot of mid.
Yes.
Generational offense. But a lot of mid.
Yes.
22. Steph, the only mid? I mean, Clay at that point. Cool. Clay at that point. But like even
Clay was actually solid in the finals.
I thought Steph was solid in the finals too. And then 21, they had probably too much defense and not enough offense, but no mids.
Mhm.
2020, no mids. Kuzma, mid.
Mhm.
2019, no mids.
He rebounded and stuff.
Cool. 2020,
He
2020
Kyle Kuzma rebounds. Okay,
cool.
he rebounds.
2019, no mids. 2018, Steph, I guess. 2017, Steph. 2016, Kyrie, Kevin Love. But now we're in a completely different NBA at this point. Like I've gone back 10 years and we had one team with mid defenders, and it was one of the best offenses in playoff history. Shout out to Jokic, +7 offense. Yeah, it's just I don't really buy into that unless you're gonna have generational offense, and I don't even know if that's possible when you employ Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's
so
not.
Yeah, it's tough. How do you feel about DeJounte Murray? Because I thought he was good when he played for New Orleans this year, personally.
He cool. Like he cool. He alright. You know what I'm saying?
I was pleasantly surprised by DeJounte. I've been a DeJounte detractor for multiple years because I feel like I was the only one who'd been watching him. But this year for New Orleans when he played, now he didn't play a whole lot, maybe 15 games. So small sample. And obviously just coming back off a torn Achilles, and they were playing for nothing. But because he was getting after it on defense. Like there was times he's picking up full court. Just off a torn Achilles, picking up full court. The mid range stuff is still really, really good. That's like his best redeeming quality is like a scorer at the mid range.
Absolutely.
And like he is still a competent passer who, in his mind, is a pass first player. Now, how much of that do I buy? I don't know. But in his mind, he's a pass first player. At least he's a willing passer. And yeah, like I said, defensively, he wasn't bad anyway. And you put him in a scaled down role offensively where he's not over leveraged and he can be like that pick and roll, pull up mid range guy, but mainly a facilitator, and then task him with he doesn't even need to be a primary POA because you have a Jaden McDaniels. But you can still obviously mix and match the matchups depending on the game. I don't know how much he makes. Maybe he makes too much. But conceptually, I think DeJounte would be an interesting fit.
Well, when I say a lot of, let me make sure. I'm saying I may need to change my mind on what's a lot of money now. Also,
25 to 30 million isn't the same as what it used to be.
Yeah, it's not the same. Yeah. I be thinking
money.
if a player makes 30 million, man, that's a lot of. But it's
I mean, Trae Young just got 53. I don't even know if he spoke about that, but yeah, Trae Young just got 53.
Shout out.
Which means they're not drafting AJ, by the way, because they're not going to give you 53 million and take your number away. Trae's wearing number 3. They're not drafting AJ. That's confirmed. So Darren's going to Washington. You heard it here first.
This is the second time you brought up something happening because
AJ already said he needs Trae to come off number 3. They just paid Trae 53 million. He is not coming off number 3. That's their guy. So AJ, enjoy Utah. Darren, enjoy Washington. It is what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that because I think Darren's the better player. So I actually think you're coming up. So, Washington fans, I'm not saying be happy, but don't be mad.
That Trae Young contract is definitely a Washington Wizard contract. I saw a tweet somebody put out, and it was like, damn.
He is playing next to behind him, but sorry, go ahead.
No, they said they really did all of that to get out of the Bradley Beal move just to do the Bradley Beal move all over again. I was
he doesn't have a no trade clause, so they've learned.
He's not going to need.
He's just going to be untradeable.
He's going to trade for Trae Young.
Disgusting.
Oh man! Shout out to
the Wizards. Trae looked good in the little 3 games he played for the Wizards. I thought he looked good, man. But haters gonna hate, man.
There's another player that now off court. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to talk about that or anything like that.
KPJ.
Yes, in Minnesota. To me,
I think Minnesota is the dumbest team in the league. You can't add Kevin Porter Jr.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, mentally, no, but from a talent perspective, and he can run pick and roll, cool defender. He adds to that. One thing I love about Minnesota It's all of the aggregate athleticism they have at the guard wing position. He adds to that. Man, theoretically, again, that's what we were talking about. Theoretically, KPJ on Minnesota makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. And he's not making any money. KPJ makes, I think last time I saw him being like,
yeah, he doesn't make a whole lot.
2 years, 11 mil or something like that. Doesn't make any money. He definitely outperformed that contract, by the way. He's outperforming that contract by a mile. To me.
Yeah,
He's
for sure.
much better than he's a
sure.
much better player than that. Yeah.
I don't want more idiots on the team. And I'm not saying idiots because of his off the court stuff. Like on the court,
I know what you're saying.
He's also an idiot. But I understand the allure. I guess I'm trying to think more like small moves. How do you feel about Scottie Pippen Jr.? Because obviously Memphis have kind of a logjam right now. With guards and whatnot. He's a good defender. Really good defender in my opinion. Really good passer. He can shoot, especially like off the ball. Can definitely take ball handling responsibilities. You probably have to divvy it out. He can't be like, he's not John Morant, but like him, Ayo, and if Terrence Shannon is in the rotation next year and he develops a brain.
He is definitely now.
Yeah. Trey Jones is another good name, I think. Trey Jones obviously can't shoot, which is, I guess, the problem. But I think Trey Jones is one of the more underrated guards in the league this year.
I think Trey Jones handles being a point guard in high leverage. I trust him more than Scottie Pippen Jr. That's just
I think Trey Jones is really good, to be fair. Like
he's cool. I'm saying I trust him more in those situations. Like, Scottie Pippen Jr.
He's another
being my
tempo
PG.
Too.
Yeah, and we're playing OKC, and it's like, oh man, you gotta have.
I mean, but if you're building your roster with OKC in mind, the level of ball handling you need is just not going to be available unless, like even if I say it's John Morant, respectfully, like, how's Ja scoring against OKC?
I didn't say nothing about scoring. We don't need you to score, Ja. Handle
but then
ball.
He's touching the paint and then doing what?
Against OKC, I still think like you touch the paint, good things can happen. Because they're more kind of willing to give us some threes. Now, if you say like Ja Morant touches the paint and it's Stephon Castle and Wemby,
that's another team you got to worry about. Yeah, that's another.
He just may be touching the goddamn paint.
The Wolves, they still do have Bones Hyland.
If Bones Hyland is still playing playoff minutes for them, they have failed in the offseason. I'm letting y'all know that right now. If Bones Hyland come 2020, we're going to be in what? Oh, we're still going to be in 2026 when the season starts. Yes. Come October 2026, Bones Hyland should be glued to the bench. Maybe play the regular season, maybe. But come April of 2027, Bones Hyland's year should be done. Over. Thank you for your services. We will continue to pay you each round that we go and as long as the season continues. But your services are no longer needed come April. He should not be playing at all.
You think you could try get Fred VanVleet?
That's a good name. That's solid. But like what you giving? Now they got a trade exception, I think, from the deal that they did.
Don't they just have money available? They dropped Julius Randle for nothing. Don't they just have bread? Like, can they just give up like?
It's a $33 million trade exception, I think, is what just happened.
Fred makes $20 million. I'm not saying use all of it on Fred, but you don't need to attach a whole lot. Assuming Houston are trying to build with Reed and a man. as their guard.
I'm not mad at the Fred. I'm not mad at the Fred pickup. That's a cool name.
Now, I don't know if Ime will let it happen because, Ime loves himself some Fred VanVleet.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
I would at least try, personally. I think there's options at point guard. I don't think there's a bunch of great ones, but I think there's some options. Yeah. Oh, they paid it. They used the trade exception money on Io. Is that how it works?
Did you not see
Yeah,
the IO contract?
No, but I'm bad at. I didn't know that comes off the trade exception stuff. I didn't know that, but that's what they're telling me. So. This is why I don't do the contract stuff and whatever.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not one of those.
I just stick to evaluating the
yeah.
on-court stuff. I'm bad at this.
That's what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? Now we can discuss, what we think the teams look like after the moves and all that. But if you're expecting me to hit you with all the trade exceptions and hey, they've cleared this off waivers and all of that bullshit there,
yeah,
you're on the wrong platform. Okay, I'm just be upfront.
Sorry to disappoint. Yeah, sorry.
You're on the wrong platform. All right. Shout out to the 960 plus we've had here. Appreciate y'all. Make sure that you like the stream, subscribe if you're not subscribed, share that notification bell on so you know we're live when we drop another video. Hit that subscribe button. Though. We're on the road to 10K. We're trying to get to 10K as quickly as possible. So then we get to get ad reads. All right. All righty. Let me see. What else is there? How do you feel about IO getting 112 though?
It's not where it used to be, right? 20, what is that, 23 a year? No. It's 5 years, right? 112.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 22.4. Yeah, that's good value for IO this year, in my opinion. Looking at the money that goes around the NBA, you get a player of IO Desimu's caliber for just north of 20 million. I think that's a good deal. I'm not the highest on IO, like compared to like you and I think some other people, but for 22 million, you get a high level shooter, someone who pushes the pace in transition, has redeeming qualities on defense in terms of like the screen stuff. I don't think he's a great defender, but I do think he's good at enough things. Like I saw a tweet that said like IO grades out poorly on like all-in-one defensive metrics. Like, why do people think he's good? I think that's so stupid. Yeah,
it's
I
so
think
dumb.
that's yeah, I think
it's
that's
so
genuinely
dumb.
Stupid. But
if you watch Ayo Dosunmu play, Ayo Dosunmu is not a bad defensive player. It's so every time I see somebody tweeting that about Ayo Dosunmu, I'm like, oh yeah, this is somebody that doesn't watch basketball. They just read charts and stats. That frustrates me. Like that one specifically. I do think I had to adjust my mindset because I just saw role player and then 9 figures. I was like, whoa, a lot of money. But again, new age.
I mean, he got less than Christian Brown by 13 over 5 years. So a couple million. Christian Brown got 25 for 5 years. He got 22.
Did.
So like,
hey, hot take, ladies and gentlemen. Winning the championship low-key ruins franchises. I know it sounds crazy
because the people on the team get overpaid.
Yes, it happens over and over.
Or you end up not being able to afford the ones who helped you win the championship.
Yes. Yeah. As soon as you win a chip for a lot of teams, it goes to shit after that. It does. You have to pay people, or you can't afford people anymore. I'm telling you, every single time, never fails. Christian Brown had no business getting a $125 million contract. No business whatsoever.
Shout out to his agent, man. Shout out to his agent.
No business whatsoever. I don't even think that. What did J-Dub sign?
Rookie max
extension. And I love J-Dub.
Rookie max, I think. So him and Chet got the same bread, I think.
That's reasonable. That's cool.
J-Dub max. Yeah, OKC haven't really gotten, because they extended people before they won. So they got AJ on the cheap. Chet and them were going to get that regardless. They bought Isaiah Hartenstein on a cheap, on an expensive deal, but short-term team option. Lou Dort was already paid. Like, they put themselves in a good spot. Now we're going to see what they do. Now that Shai's money's going to kick in, J-Dub and Chet's money's going to kick in. Now, what do they do with Hartenstein? I think this year and the next year, you're going to see OKC kind of start struggling to manipulate the cap. It's all like they already had to just dump Aaron Wiggins, who I'm not the highest on, but like you can already see that having to make moves. We saw Boston, I think, is like the clearest example. They had to blow up
for a
the
lot of
team.
people did. Oh yeah.
Boston had to blow up the team. It's a tough spot, but yeah, the IO bad defender stuff, like it's pretty much solely based on like he doesn't protect the rim and he doesn't force turnovers, which are like the two most valuable forms of defense in like the eyes of the charts and whatnot. But at the end of the day, like as a point of attack guy, he's solid. I think he's okay. And like in terms of like defending, like pick and roll, rear view pursuit, being able to get back in front, use his quickness in that regard, he's good. Like he's a legitimately like good screen navigator. He stays attached, like even through screens, like away from the ball, like he stays attached, does his best, contest high. He's just like a fundamentally sound on-ball defender. But for the most part, those guys tend to not be respected by like the spreadsheets and whatnot. It's why like Lou Dort statistically was like the Thunder's worst defender because he was like their on-ball guy. It just tends to be that's how those guys get graded out. But yeah, calling him a bad defender makes no sense to me. Now I wouldn't call him elite because he doesn't provide like the value in the other areas. But I would for his role, he's a good defender. He does what he's told on defense. So yeah, I don't agree with that prognosis. For 22 million, you get a legitimate 3-and-D guards, which is what he is, with like real juices.
Legitimate.
Like, yeah. With real juices, like not just a pull-up shooter, but someone who can get into the paint, get to a floater. He's shown comfortability in the mid-range. Now I will say Jokic did some help for him in terms of this contract. Jokic or Christian Brown paid and Ayo Dosunmu paid. Jokic just began people paid.
Jordan Poole, don't forget the Jordan Poole contract.
Jordan but yeah, I think 22 is good value for Ayo Dosunmu for the Timberwolves and for him. I think is a fair trade, fair deal on both sides.
Yeah, I think it just made a lot of sense for them to re-sign Ayo. Like he came to the team, made immediate impact. It was a great fit from basically day one. Fits the mode of the team. Love the athleticism. I'm just so high on athleticism and basketball. Like I really am, especially come playoff time. And now it's just, to me, the need has done nothing more but going up since they let you play that physical in the playoffs as well. Like you need to be able to, hey, I can get by you. I can stay in front of you. I can, even when a little jersey tug isn't going to just completely nullify me because I'm all skill and I'm all, this needs to be a foul for me. Otherwise, I'm dead ass just a less effective player. Like
Zion FC, we up.
Zion in some spacing would be a dog in the playoffs, but the spacing is very particular though, because that brother can't shoot outside of.
We don't need to. Charlotte, we coming. We coming.
So he's a real athlete, and a real shooter. Like his shooting numbers last year were off the charts. Now, granted, I don't know how many games he played.
A pessimist would say it could be an outlier year because he's never displayed that level of accuracy and that like on that volume. I think he was solid, but he's always hovered around like 35-ish%, and then he jumps up to like 45% in a year. But to me, he can shoot. Like just eyeballing it, he can shoot.
Yeah, to me, it looked
and he's a good free throw shooter too. Yeah, and he's a good free. So like the indicate, and he's got floater touch. So like any indicators I would look at, like three-point percentage, obviously, free throw percentage. Do you have like clear touch indicators, floaters, eye test wise? Yes. And like he's a capable mid-range guy as well. It's like, yeah, I think Ayo can just shoot the ball. Yeah, I think he's a good shooter. I want to see him shoot more threes, but I think he's a good shooter.
Yeah, I'm looking his rookie year, he shot 37.5%. Now that was on 2.4 attempts. Next year, he shot 31. 30 in the season on 24, he goes back up to 40% on 3.9 attempts. Next year, though, on 4.1, back down to about 33. And then next year, which was last year, 4.1 attempts, 44% practically.
So it seems like he has one good year, one bad year, alternating.
Yeah.
So next year might be the 32% year.
Yeah, next year he might be mid from 3. That's unfortunate for you. That's unfortunate for Minnesota. But I agree. I think when I watch him shoot the ball, it looks like he's a capable shooter. You know what I'm saying?
Agree.
It's not nothing fake or anything like that, in my opinion. So yeah, you get a real athlete like that can shoot the ball like that, defends, like you were saying, great asset. I think great job by Minnesota. Them getting rid of Julius Randle and making sure Io comes back. You're doing well. I think they're like, if you're Minnesota, you're choosing between a ball handler and a backup big, are you going with ball handler? Are you prioritizing ball handler?
I gotta wait till summer league. If I'm being honest, I gotta see what Berenger looks like because he's the linchpin in all of this. If he genuinely just looks raw and unplayable, and it's not going to be if he's averaging 15 and 10 in summer league. It's not about the averages. It's does he look like he's a functioning player? If the answer is no, then I prioritize a big. If the answer is yes, then I prioritize a guard. So whenever summer league is, which is maybe 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks from now, I don't know. Whenever that is, that's probably when I'm going to have an answer. Personally.
Okay, respect. Let's read some of these super chats and we'll get up out of here. It's an hour and a half and it's late. I'm saying, what time is it over there for you? What? You're 6 hours ahead, I believe.
6:30.
6:30. Respect. Salute to you. Salute. Christian. It's Christian 199. How you think Jalen feeling tonight, Mr. Talk? He's going to be on his, what is he on his stream? Oh, you're just turning me into a monster. So he's going to be a monster.
Scary out.
Scary out.
Facts.
I'm so done with this gimmick from Jalen Brown. Lofi, 2 times, 3,199. Going to be second greatest Heat player after Bron. Let's respect Dwayne Wade.
Yeah,
and Dwayne Wade is number 1.
Yeah, rest in peace, Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade is number 1. 09 Dwayne Wade is better than Giannis right now, by the way.
Oh, I thought you were going to say LeBron.
He better than 2011 Bron, though. Let's talk about it. You want to talk about it?
Okay. Yeah, 09 Wade had a better year than 2011 Bron. I agree.
Okay. Capo DC 99 with the 199 super chat. Team going to be elite defensively and fits Giannis more, in my opinion. Yeah, from something Mars brought up, which I definitely didn't think about at the time, but the pace thing, Miami definitely should keep up the pace. You know, they were the fastest team in the league last year. Obviously, you had Giannis, who's the best transition player in the league, hands down. Should be beneficial and could lead to some. Man, hey, Giannis FC, we might be up. Giannis FC, we might be up. Because if he's averaging 34.5, 12, and 7 next year, we're better than Duncan and KG. And I'm standing on it. Hey, everybody keep running to pass up Duncan like KG is this untouchable force.
To be fair, the consensus, I'm definitely in the minority. Most people think Giannis is already better than Kevin Garnett. I'm in the minority. You just hear me a lot. But I'm absolutely in the minority of the power forward ranking. Most people view Giannis as the second best power forward.
I don't be seeing that in the all-time list. People make sure they bring up KG on all-time. People still disrespect Giannis on a global scale all-time. On a global scale.
I agree. They disrespect Giannis. Kevin isn't even definitively above Dirk for a lot of people. I'm in a very vocal, but still a minority. Very vocal.
Sir, when people bring up the Mount Rushmore or top 5 power forwards, KG is always brought up. They're gonna say
he's top 4,
Tim Duncan. They're gonna say Tim Duncan, KG. I'm not saying in order, but these are the names: Tim Duncan, KG, Dirk,
Giannis,
Barkley,
Malone.
Malone.
Yeah, those 6 names are the ones that are going to get brought up, and then
We still have people thinking that Barkley and Malone are in conversations with Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I mean, you have some people who bring up Kevin McHale and Dennis Rodman somehow, but like for the most part, it's those 6 names. Yeah, those are the 6 names that get brought up. Most people will have Giannis over a Barkley. Barkley got passed up. Most people will have him over a Barkley. Then you'll have like the people who will say Malone was better, blah blah blah. But a lot of people have him over. Yeah, but a lot of people will still have him over Malone. A lot of people still have him Malone. So then Duncan is in a group by himself for whatever weird reason. Shout out to him. And then KG, Dirk, and Giannis is kind of like the big 3 of who's second. And then for the most part, I would say the consensus probably is Giannis, KG, Dirk. But there's a lot of people who have Dirk over KG, and there's a lot of people who have KG over Giannis, and vice versa. But for the most part, I think the consensus top 5 power forwards. Well, the consensus probably does have Karl Malone in the top 5, but like we're gonna leave him out. Yeah, we're gonna leave him out. So for the most people, we're gonna say Tim Duncan would be 1, Giannis 2, and then KG, Dirk 3 and 4 with Malone. Shout out to him. Don't shout to him actually. Fuck. But yeah, him filling out the rest of the 5. But yeah, but shout out to
Giannis
KG.
being
KG still better.
Dirk convos. Dirk.
Yeah, you'd be hating on Dirk, but it's cool.
I don't hate on Dirk. I think Dirk is great. Dirk does one thing particularly well, which is score. Like he is all time great at that. Like legit. Like I'm not even like being sarcastic or anything like that. Like he's legit one of the greatest scorers ever. However, past that, and I know I sound like someone, but scoring the ball at a great rate is enough. And I believe that. I do. I get it. But compared to Giannis, come on, bro. Giannis is still giving me high point total. He's a far better passer, playmaker, better rebounder, better defensive. Like, come on, bro. Like, respectfully. Yeah. And again, shout out to Dirk. But
yeah, I said I had Karl over Giannis because of the longevity, not because Giannis was worse than him. But at some point, the guy played for 200 years. Holds a lot of weight to me.
Oh yeah, that's what I was wanted to say in the convo. I do think because I saw y'all were talking about KG and Tim Duncan, and you're too long, Tim.
Nope, I'm still too high.
No, you're too long, Tim Duncan.
I'm gonna be watching more Spurs games in the offseason. I'm already watching.
Yeah, watch some more Tim Duncan.
Oh no, the issue is the more I'm watching, the lower I'm getting. So
that's crazy. What years?
I'm going through. So I'm his rookie year, not so much. There's not much that you're seeing from that. But 99 onwards. Well, 98 onwards, actually. 98 onwards. Yeah. The more I'm watching. Sometimes I jump from year to year to kind of see like how he changed. But yeah, 98, the more I'm watching, the lower I'm getting. Like every time. But you know,
for the person in the chat that's like, hey, real talk. So Hakeem over Shaq by that logic, I've always had Hakeem better than Shaq.
I've always
I have Hakeem number 4 all time.
Yeah.
I
really had Hakeem, Tim Duncan over Hakeem Olajuwon a year ago. Shame on me.
Yeah, you yeah.
See, I was too high.
For that
yeah, I was too high. I mean, to be fair, I watched it back in the episode, but you know, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We so good off Tim Duncan.
Nah, I do think you too low. You too low. I'm not saying he got to be better than KG for you or nothing like that, but like, bro,
what?
Tim Duncan was really good, bro.
I agree. He was a really good player.
No, but like, I think his PPG don't do him justice for like how good of a scorer he is.
You about to tell me that?
No, but like I think he's at least a tier better scorer than Kevin Garnett.
I think I've always acknowledged that. Like you're saying things that I'm acknowledging the things.
But so then it's like, okay, so he has true like one volume if need be. He doesn't always do it, but if need and like a better score. I think he also has better one gravity as well. And although KG is a better passer than Tim Duncan, like you make Tim Duncan sound like Hakeem. Like Tim Duncan made basic reads. He was a willing passer as well.
Which Hakeem we talking about? Young Hakeem or like Hakeem when he started passing?
Hakeem when he started, Pat. I mean, he
But
passed more.
I promise
He
you,
passed more than before, but Hakeem never was.
There's not a major gap between like 98 and 03 Duncan and 93 to 95 Hakeem in
You
terms
don't
of
think so?
passing.
As a passer?
No, there's really not. That man Tim Duncan was not a very good passer at all, to be honest.
I don't think he was.
That's
good.
one thing.
That's
one thing I'm
good.
getting a lot lower.
I'm not
on.
saying he was good.
But
I'm
like
saying,
even
but
the willingness gimmick, like cool. I get like the willingness isn't crazy either. Like he passes when he gets double teamed. He did what Hakeem did. Like maybe over the off season we go like Twitch. You said you got a members only thing, whatever. Maybe I'll make a membership thing. We can watch. I promise you, I'm watching these Tim Duncan games and I'm getting lower and lower on what he is doing. Like it's not. Oh, I need to watch more. The issue is I'm watching more and getting lower. It's just and God forbid I start watching the non-prime years.
For you.
Yeah, the magic thing
that's what this is, by the way. But see, this won't be as big of a deal because it's Tim Duncan. And so this is how I know people only talk about or rank Tim Duncan highly to like try to get at or piss off Kobe fans because nobody actually gives a fuck about Tim Duncan. Like nobody cares. If Mars goes around saying this year,
I say that all the time.
If Mars goes around saying this offseason that Tim Duncan is no longer a top 10 player of all time for him, I don't think he's that low. But I'm saying if he goes around saying that, trust me, it's not going to be as big of a deal. Oh my God, you have Magic Johnson. Because for whatever reason, Magic's branding is off the charts. The brother fast breakthrough game. Congratulations.
We're just never gonna agree on the value of
we're not. We're not.
That's why we fundamentally disagree on Magic, Nash, and Halliburton. Like those are three players I've kind of just accepted. We diverge. It is what it is. We just don't view the value of that the same, or I guess how good you need to be able to do those things. With that, we just don't agree. Tim Duncan, however, I see through this. I see through this. This is.
But you also say you're getting low on him defensively.
What I said was those Spurs teams, it's a lot more than Tim Duncan defensively. A lot more in terms of how good they were. We need to watch the games for me to be able to. I don't know if this is the right word, but I'm going to use it because fuck Tim Duncan. They did a lot of hiding for Tim Duncan. A lot of hiding for him. But it's cool.
Super chat.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Once again, this summer I'm gonna be watching the games. I don't know if I'm gonna be watching them live on camera. They did a lot of things to keep Tim Duncan in advantageous positions. We'll just say that. Now, it's what the Spurs do with Wemby right now. They keep Wemby low. The issue is he's not Wemby.
That is very true.
But they did a lot of things. They did a lot of things to keep Tim Duncan away from having to do certain things on defense. A lot of them.
So what's the shame in that if the greatest defender of all time?
There's no shame. It's not shame. Like I said, it's not shame. It's something I'm watching unfold, and I'm saying they deserve a lot more credit for making it possible.
Like you would have.
No, I do think I think it's important when it comes to Wemby. The difference with Wemby is twofold. One, he's a better rim protector than Tim Duncan was. Two, he has to defend in space more than Tim Duncan does anyway by virtue of the game he plays in. Oh, add another one. 3, he's already anchored a better postseason defense than Tim Duncan ever has. 3. 4, he's doing it with less personnel than Tim Duncan had in his prime. That's 4. And then is there a 5th? He's also more versatile than Tim Duncan was too. But that's cool. But anyway, Tim Duncan, still an all-time defender. When I did the list last time I made one, I had him at like top 5. It was, if I remember correctly, some order of Hakeem, Bill Russell, Kevin Garnett, and I think Duncan was 4th, maybe. So he's still an amazing defender. It's just the more I'm watching these games, the more I'm seeing the Spurs don't get enough credit. It's crazy because when you hear the Spurs and Greg Popovich and whatever, for whatever reason, people think they were just playing 2014 basketball the whole time. The reality, Greg Popovich and like his mastermind, it was the defensive stuff early on. It was the they were so ahead of everyone else defensively, especially before the freedom of movement rules. That's what made them so great. It was more than just Tim Duncan. Like, it was quite obviously more than just Tim Duncan. That's why David Robinson was able to anchor elite defenses even in his old age. Is why I don't agree with David Robinson being called washed at that time. I don't think he was elite. Like, I don't think he was prime David Robinson, but he was a legitimately good player. He just couldn't play as many minutes because he was old. Manu Ginobili was a good defender. Obviously, Bruce Bowen.
How you qualify washed?
Yeah, that's why I had to change it. He was still a good player. I had to change it. He was washed by my standard because he was way past his prime, but he was still a legitimately good player. But shout out to Tim Duncan. Good player, all-time great player. Actually, just I'm lower on him than I was a year ago or whatever.
Am I going to say it or am I going to leave it alone? I'm going to. AD is better than a lot of these power forwards at their absolute best. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't get your AD stuff because there's no way you call me crazy for saying Wemby's better than him. Like, there's no way.
2020 Anthony Davis, absolutely. That level of jump shot making.
And then I fried you in the response, and then you tried to deny the fact that you got fried. Like, you very clearly got fried.
What did you even say? I don't even remember what happened.
That if I were to say Jokic, Shea, Luka, or Giannis were better than him, that's a reasonable opinion. And then you said no, like it's not a reasonable opinion to say Jokic, Shea, Luka, and Giannis are better than peak Anthony Davis. How is that unreasonable?
What I'm saying, no. Because I don't think it's unreasonable that you would say Wemby is better than AD right now. I think
said,
they are.
Brother, that was the quote. All caps, by the way, all capitals, as if it was. Oh wow, insane, ridiculous, unfathomable. That's what you did.
I'm heavily leaning AD in the argument, but I get why it's an argument. Like, I guess, but I'm sorry. Like, oh man, I just think like Wemby and his rim protection 101, absolutely. But like the Knicks were doing things to take advantage of the fact that Wemby is like, you can poke at him and pick and roll a little bit. You can poke at him in space. Like 2020 Anthony Davis, is he protecting the rim like Victor Wembanyama? No.
He anchored a -10 defense against the Knicks, by the way. Like, I feel like poking the holes in his defense based on that series is still weird.
He be getting a lot of credit for these defenses too.
No,
and I get old with
I'm not saying give him all the credit. What I'm saying is, like, even in series in which we see the possession, because what game was it? Was it game 4 when they came back? Brunson obliterated him in pick and roll for a whole half. You would agree with that, right? Cool. Do I think that would happen to Anthony Davis? Probably not. I agree with that. But the reality of the situation is, if we're going to poke holes in Wemby, the results defensively over the course of a series still scream no one can do what he does on the defense side of the ball, even with all of the flaws out there. Do I think he's more flawed of a defender than Anthony Davis? Absolutely. But in my opinion, the reality of the situation is, even when he gets hunted and you see the bad games, game 4, whatever, over the course of a series, he still takes away so much value in terms of the stuff you do at the rim that teams still struggle to score. The biggest, like, the elephant in the room should be his offense. His offense was the problem in the final. His defense was still fine. Like, still quite clearly fine, in my opinion.
But I feel like the Knicks being bad offensively was Mike Brown choosing and electing to stay with Josh Hart. I truly do. I'm sorry. Josh Hart was that bad of an offensive player. He was. Kudos to him for the offensive rebounds and stuff. Hit some big threes and whatnot, but was still not being guarded. Like, he was in the way offensively. The Knicks had a better offense when Josh Hart was off the court.
For sure, yeah.
That's just period, point blank. He was a negative. And I know, like, from a holistic standpoint, it feels good to say, oh yeah, they were negative. But
most teams,
you lost that game. You lost a game
because
due to a defensive weakness.
In part, yeah, I agree. But I've also
lost the game.
Yeah, but I've also seen games in which Anthony Davis' refusal to get back in transition loses them games. I've seen those things.
That's Denver. But I'm saying
The Knicks were the best offense in the playoffs. Wemby's not gonna get the bell, and I agree. Don't give him bell. He got religiously attacked. But when teams attack Anthony Davis's weaknesses, and I think this is once again your bias towards transition. You don't view transition as part of basketball, in my opinion.
I do view transition.
No,
as part of
I
basketball.
genuinely, I think if someone's a good transition scorer, you give them the credit for it. But in your mind, I think you just view transition as it's transition. But the reality of the situation is Anthony Davis has lost his team's games because of his transition defense. But you don't view that the same way as like a Wemby getting attacked in pick and roll. But I could point to several occasions in which Anthony Davis' refusal to defend in transition has led to teams having beaten the Lakers in transition points by 20 plus points. How is that Anthony Davis not losing his team a game on defense? Because he defended the pick and roll at the level? Ooh. But we ignore the fact that their defense with him on the court still sucks.
About peak AD though,
but their defense with him on the court still sucks because he's not defending in transition. So like,
what if
he's not anchoring negative 10
2018 to 2020?
Do you think that? Like, because I think that's his peak. Oh, but yeah, I've heard you also praise 2023 AD defensively and say that what he did in that run, which I agree with.
Oh, yeah, that run was special. Multiple. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's why I was also. So you view it as 18 to 20? Like defense. We're not talking, ignore the offensive part of it for now.
Oh, just defensively?
Yeah.
I feel like from a rim pro standpoint, that peak probably, although he didn't play a lot of these seasons, but like center AD to me probably peaks higher as a rim protector. So that probably like 2020 to 23. I think he's a better rim protector.
It's weird because 21 and 22 are kind of mid years, but we kind of just it's cool. Whatever.
They were, but I chalk it up to like injury and stuff like that,
which I'm fine with. Yeah.
So basically, the years I am talking about is like 2020, 2023 for sure. Elite rim protector. I think 18 to 20 AD, I think still a very good rim protector. I'm not saying he wasn't, but like I don't think it was Laker version, but probably more versatile in New Orleans a little bit. Even though I still think he could switch out in LA too, just not to the level of like.
I mean, in 2020 for sure, as the year 21, 22, 23, the switching is less consistent. But he can definitely still play more coverages than Wemby can, especially like pick and roll. With like the versatility thing, I'm not gonna argue. I don't think Wemby's argument is ever gonna be versatility. It's more so just gonna be like pure paint protection impact stuff when it comes to defense. My issue with and my argument with Wemby versus AD is not like the 3-year peak stuff. Is this year Wemby is better than Anthony Davis ever was. That's my opinion. Because like I don't think last year Wemby is as good as 2018 Anthony Davis. I think this year Wemby is better than whatever you think the best year of Anthony Davis is as a basketball player, which I assume you think is 2020.
I do think it's 2020. Yes.
And I think offensively, especially based on like the playoff jump shooting, I get it, because like he shot like Dirk Nowitzki. It's like
the best defensive player in the world is hitting 50% of his mid-range shots.
I get
and 38% of his threes.
I don't think Anthony Davis is that good of a shooter. I don't. Now he produced.
I mean, whatever you believe,
when I'm
it happens.
But that's when I'm evaluating a player, I'm evaluating your skill set. Like if you get Devin Booker 2023, for example, that's the best example I can give. I don't view Devin Booker. Oh, he's now the best two guard ever because he shot 90 million% for 3 weeks. Like it's the same thing with Anthony Davis. I'm not going to be like, oh, Anthony Davis, elite jump shooter because in the bubble he like no, he's not. Like he can shoot, cool, he can shoot, but I'm not going to be like, oh, elite jump shooter. So it's not that I don't believe what happened. I acknowledge what happened, and the level he played at in large part because of the jump shot is still extremely high. But if you're asking me how good of a player is he, I'm not calling him an elite jump shooter. I'm just not, because he never has been. And I think offensively they're more similar than people seem to acknowledge. I think you've acknowledged it in terms of like the play finishing stuff. I think they are more similar. I do still think like the gravity stuff that Wemby has still trumps an Anthony Davis in terms of the roll gravity, the fact that teams guard him more like a legitimate shooter than they do Anthony Davis. I think that stuff is valuable. Defensively, although I think AD is more versatile, I think Wemby's impact is just undeniable at this point on defense. In my humble opinion, I think he's the best defender since KG. And personally, I think he's a better defender than Draymond. I think he's better than Rudy Gobert, better than Anthony Davis. I think he's the best defender since KG, Dunk, and Ben Wallace. I think that's how good he is on defense. So I think he's better than Anthony Davis. And I think the impact stuff, like, it's not just like raw on-offs, but it's like he's anchoring the best postseason defense we've ever seen. Now, is he the only reason for that? No, because I think Stephon Castle, really good defender. Dylan Harper, really good defender. Julian Champagny, Devin Vassell, competed on defense, played at a solid level. Because you're not going to have an all-time great defense with bad personnel and just Wemby. That's not in the playoffs. That's not possible. But you're also like, prior to the finals, he was anchoring a negative, I think, 17 defense. Anthony Davis had personnel in LA in 2020. It wasn't that. And I would argue they have better personnel. It wasn't a negative 17. I want to get it right. It was a negative 7 for the run. They peaked at negative 16 against Portland. Which
is impressive against,
real clap. And then obviously, like, you saw the versatility against Houston because he played he plays the 4 against Denver. He then plays the 5 against Houston because they go small. Like, the versatility is definitely something that you give a lot of credit for. But in terms of like the ability to anchor a defense, I don't think Anthony Davis can do that to the level Wemby can. I genuinely don't even think it's that close.
Here's another disconnect that I definitely feel like I think I've established that we just have. I feel like that you value hey, when I'm able to do this, there's no beating me. And I think to me, that's what leads to a lot of these impact numbers. Like, hey,
the one like superpower type thing.
Yeah, like if you can't remove Wemby from the rim, you're not going to beat the Spurs. Like, that's how that goes, and that's why his impact is tremendous. Because when you let him do that, you're going to lose. That's why I picked the Spurs to beat OKC, because I said I don't think they'll be able to remove Wemby from the rim. It's kind of goddamn that simple. And I agree, and I can see your perspective of coming from like that.
That's why I think Shaq's better than Hakeem. Part of it, anyway.
Correct. Whereas me, I'm like, maybe I don't have one thing that just like guarantees a win. But I think I have the player that there is nothing like, oh, we're going to do such and such, and that's going to like nullify to an extent X player. I like there's nothing to me with a peak Anthony Davis where you could do to be like, this is something Anthony Davis can't do defensively, so we're gonna hunt that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
yeah,
and it's like you value the, hey, we're gonna win by 50, and I value the any kind of way you want to play, we're gonna be in it. Like, I don't know if I'm making.
I value that too. It's just it's hard to value that over a superpower that I don't think can really be taken away that often. Like, I value having multiple answers to the test. That's why I rate Kobe highly. Hakeem, my bad for not having you in the top 10 last year. I was wrong. I said I was wrong in the video. I value Hakeem highly. LeBron had all the answers to the test. Now, he also had the superpowers, but like LeBron had all the answers to the test. Michael Jordan had all the answers. So like, I value that, but only insofar as like, I'm not expecting Anthony Davis to provide Wemby impact, because I don't think it's why Kobe's impact metrics are never going to stack up with the other guards who like are more one-dimensional. But like, I'm not as high on Anthony Davis's offense as maybe you are. I don't know. I'm not as high on Wemby's offense either, for what it's worth. But Anthony Davis having a bunch of answers doesn't still then, in my opinion, supersede Wemby, when I don't think there's a legitimate solve to Wemby on defense. You might point to the Knicks series. I would still say, once again, their offense was the problem, not their defense. When you anchor a negative 10 defense, like the Knicks were struggling to crack 100 in most of those games. Let's just look at the game log so we can get it perfectly accurate. It was 105. This is the Knicks score. You don't need to worry about the Spurs scores. 105, 105, 111, 107, 94. So on average, they averaged 104 points a game, which, yeah, like, and they had a 109 offense. This is a team that throughout the playoffs, I want to say, were a plus 17 offense, something like that. They had a 109 offense against the Spurs. Yeah, and a large part of that is carried by the Wemby minutes. Like, I don't think the defense is the problem. Like, yeah, I've seen teams solve it for a half, but Brunson struggled in pick and roll against Wemby in every other game of the series. Every other game. So, cool. Salute. He figured it out. But even in game 5, they adjusted, and then Brunson had a lot more success attacking in isolation than he did in Wemby in pick and roll. Or getting Wemby on a switch, and then like he got a couple buckets. You give him credit. Like, tip your cap, amazing shot maker. But overall, the amount of maneuvering you have to do to try and solve the Wemby equation to ultimately still, in my opinion, fail it offensively. Like, that's just going to make you the more impactful player. It's why I think Wemby had like maybe the most impactful, like individual impact, like one of the 10 most impactful postseason runs this century. Maybe. Like, I haven't got a list of that, but maybe. Like, that's how impactful I think he was in the postseason. So I just don't think Anthony Davis can match that. And also, like, Wemby is like at worst to me the third best player in the world. I think Jokic and Shea are better than Anthony Davis. If I think Wemby's on their level, why would I not think he's better than Anthony Davis?
Jokic isn't better than 2020 AD, respectfully.
Not post-injury, like December. Post-injury, Jokic is not better than Anthony Davis, in my opinion. He's not. That guy sucks. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But even like Giannis this year, I think like the Giannis I saw this season is a better player than Anthony Davis, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree with that, but in my opinion, the Giannis I was playing for the Bucks this year was a better player than Anthony Davis was.
Before he got hurt?
Yeah. I think that player was better than Anthony Davis. And I think Wemby's on that level. Luka, I think, is a better player than Anthony Davis.
Giannis at that level is better than Wemby.
That's fine.
This season.
That's why I said on that level. I didn't even say Wemby was better. I just said on that level. Like, if I think Luka, Giannis, Shea, and then obviously pre-injury Jokic are all better than Anthony Davis, why would I not think Wemby is better than Anthony Davis? And I don't know how I'm tripping for saying Giannis before the injury was better.
Oh, no, I mean,
yeah, I think you guys just don't watch the
think
games
to me, 2020 AD would just be another player in that mix. In my opinion.
I agree. He'd be in that group, but I'd have him at the bottom because I think he's better than Tatum, who's the next best player in the league. Or Ad. I think he's better than them, but I think he would just be the worst of that group, which is not a knock. You're the worst of the best players in the world.
Yeah, I would have him better than, and y'all know I love Luka. 2020 AD to me would be better than Luka. Be better than Jokic from what we saw as of this year. I'm even hinting at the Shea thing because Shea was definitely better in the regular season. But like playoffs though, 2020 AD would have gave Wemby some work. And these are facts. These are facts, ladies and gentlemen. 2020 AD would have gave Wemby some problems on both sides of the court. On both sides. Wemby
guards Anthony Davis if they matched up with the 2020 Lakers?
He'd probably be guarding Kyle Kuzma bum ass. I don't know. Yeah. And now people are calling me we just saw a cat give this nigga problems for halves and quarters at a time.
Well, we're talking about
2020 Anthony Davis.
AD is high. Like, he was getting beat by Cat off the bounce because of like the 3-point threat.
That's okay. Let AD shoot that three. Shit.
It's not about letting him shoot. It's about he's not hugging him. He's just not. Whether we don't need to.
Who do you think guards Wemby better, 20 AD or Cat?
Anthony Davis. Well, I've seen Wemby give old Anthony Davis some problems. To be fair,
man, AD in like 20.
I'd be interested to see Bron on Wemby, like 2020 Bron, like with everything on the line in the playoffs. I'd be interested to see that. That's my biggest gripe with Wemby. It's the offense. It's like the self-creation stuff that I think he gets asked to do too much. I also think Anthony Davis has very similar flaws to Wemby offensively. I just think he was on a team where he wasn't over leveraged with the stuff that Wemby is over leveraged with. Part of that is he has LeBron James. And then part of that is also like Wemby's development is also still a priority. So like they are still trying to figure that out with him, and it does bleed some of his impact. But like if he's put in the rim run, play finish role, yeah, I think he can replicate a lot of what Anthony Davis did offensively, a lot of it, in my opinion, while probably being the better offensive rebounder, just based on like virtue of the size and length and whatnot. And I think he's a better play finisher than Anthony Davis as well. And I think AD is like one of the best ever. But I think Wemby just has a larger catch radius, better free throw shooter,
I
more
think
gravity.
Wemby's threat of rim play finishing is better. I don't know if the actual skill of it, he's better than Anthony Davis, if that makes sense.
I can understand that. Maybe agree with that. I can concede that.
And just back to like the problem that I be having with like impact arguments, and then we'll just read the rest. I was not planning on the streaming this long, but salute to you for staying up and conversing. Salute to the chat. Salute to the 800 plus that we still have here. Make sure that you subscribe, like the stream. If you're watching this via VOD, do, but this will be cut into a segment and re-released as if it was brand new. We'll make sure you watch that as well.
Nice.
And like that as well. Impact to me is like, I'm not going to say it's subjective because there are factual men like plus 14 is plus 14 and plus 5 is plus 5.
Yeah, but how much of that is attributed to just you is subjective?
That is correct. But it's all like I look at it from a boxer perspective. Like to me, this is the Mike Tyson versus or in George Foreman versus Floyd Mayweather argument. Right. And I feel like I'm gonna break it down. It's like Wemby's defensive impact and his rim protection is such a heavy force, right? Let's say it's the left hook of Mike Tyson, to where if that lands, the fight is over. Mike Tyson has won via knockout. Like it's just that simple. Fight done. He hits you with the left hook, over. Nothing you can do about it. Floyd Mayweather is just going to sit there and 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 10-9 every round over and over and over again. And then you look at the box score and it's like, oh, wow. Floyd won 9 of the 12 rounds yet again and won the fight. But it was probably like, final card 112 to 108 or whatever. It's not going to be this. He's only plus 4 or he's only plus 5, but he does that and he wins every time. Like, yeah, it's just plus 4, plus 5, but he's going to plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1 you to death and win. Mike Tyson is going to knock you out, but does that necessarily mean that he's the better fighter because it's more impactful? Like we say about losses, this is what I'm trying, like we say about losses, it doesn't matter if you lose by 1 or 50, you lost. But then like in these impact metrics or whatever, we say that, well, winning by 20 is better than winning by 5, but I'm still winning. And what if the plus 5 way gives me more ways to win? To me, I'm not saying that you being plus 20 your way is ineffective or doesn't, I'm not saying that, but it's like, to me, it's not the end all be all, in my opinion. If my plus 5 travels and I can beat you via zone when you do this plus 5, I can do this on ball, I can do this off ball, I can do this off the left wing, right wing, in the post, as the ball handler, pick and roll. Now I'm talking about like different ways of scoring the ball and stuff like that. But like, I'm comfortable in saying that can be better than somebody who spams a couple of things and they're plus 9. Like,
I think it can be. I just think you understate Wemby's versatility on both sides of it. I mean, I watched through the playoff run. I mean, he's one of the best pick and roll defenders in the league. It's a lot of drop, but he's one of the best pick and roll defenders in the
Mm.
league. Obviously, the rim protection stuff is Aroma, but then also manning the middle. Really good as a zone defender because he's in the middle of it, obviously. And then offensively, like we even saw it, like even when the jump shot's not falling, just the principle of if you put a small on him, he's gonna play down low, play finishing, lob threat, offensive rebounding. There was times they put Mitchell Robinson on him, who's a better rim protector than a guy like Cat. So then they have him coming off all screens to get to mid-range jumpers or to get to threes or whatever the case may be, run a big off a screen. And then you get a guy like Cat, and it's more, once again, more pick and roll, more typical big man stuff. Like that's versatility right there. Not to mention the fact that he can make threes at a high clip, like the OKC series, for example, shooting 40% from three on volume for a whole series. Over the course of the season, he was like 35% on solid volume. I think he's 35% for his career from three at this point, which is better than Anthony Davis for sure. I think it's even better than 2020 AD in the regular season, maybe. No, AD in 2020 was 37% regular season, 2020 maybe. But like offensively, like, that's still a lot of versatility, not to mention like the gravity, the passing, especially when he's stationary. I think I understand the analogy. I just don't know if I would attribute it to Wemby. I think he has more. I think he has more than one punch. That's really it. I think he has more than one. I just think he has a Deontay Wilder overhand right that he has, but he has more things that he can get to. I also think if he played the 2020 Heat in the finals, he's a champion. And then he's plus 15 for a whole playoff run with a ring. And it looks different. But he played against the Knicks, who were, by both of our opinion, the best matchup for the Spurs in the NBA. And he lost and he played badly. But yeah, I think it would just be viewed a little bit differently if he went through a whole postseason run, won 4 series, and maybe you'd view his one-dimensional impact a bit more favorably. But we'll never know the answer to that one.
Maybe. Or maybe 2020 AD, maybe he's not ever plus 15. Maybe that's true. But maybe you are able to slide Cornet in at the 5 because AD can actually defensively play the 4. And now when AD or Wemby per se has to be, pulled away from the rim, you have another rebounder and you have another footer on the court. Maybe you can solidify some rebounding due to AD's versatility. But again, that won't ever be plus whatever the fuck. So it's like, but again, I get what you're saying. I think but again, I'm saying to me, I think that's just something we fundamentally differ at. But I'm not saying that you're wrong in your thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Likewise.
Buzz Trophy with the $9.99. Real talk. Don't let Low off the hook for all the stuff he said about Fox in his contract, especially when AR gets that big contract from the Lakers, and they're going to be sitting there defending him. To be fair, I don't think also Reeves can sign for what is Fox getting 50 something?
He's only making like 60 in like 4 years, I think.
Jordan King. Yeah. Hey, shout out. Salute to y'all. Get that money. I'm never mad at a player getting their money. Get your money.
Unless they on your team, huh? Then it's all
absolutely.
Sacrifice.
Absolutely. Yeah. Unless, Austin, pay cut immediately. Jordan King, LeBron, you too. A veteran minimum. If you want to come back. Jordan King, 58.55 with the $4.99 super chat. I know that nigga Jaylen Brown hot, used as bait just to still be Tatum's sidekick. Facts. Bucket Factory won. The Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown discourse really just like there are people that really love Jaylen Brown on this planet. Salute to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Salute to y'all, man. There were people. I saw a tweet. I think it was Ball His Life. It was like, oh man, Jaylen Brown clearly the best wing this past season. Did you not see Kawhi Leonard play this year?
Yeah, I don't. I wish I saw what other people see with Jaylen Brown. I don't know. When I watch the games, I don't know. Maybe I just look at different things, but I don't. Shout out to him though.
And what's crazy, I think I'm higher than most on Jaylen Brown. I'm just
Definitely
not
higher
like,
than me.
I'm not ox. I'm just like, Tatum is better than him. If you're anybody that entertains those kind of conversations, I'm definitely lower than you on Jaylen Brown. But I'm certain, like, I'm pretty sure I'm higher on Jaylen Brown than like Mars though.
For sure.
But because I have to argue against the Rons in them so often, I feel like it gets portrayed that I'm like a Jaylen Brown hater. I think Jaylen Brown is really, really good. I think he's a top 20-ish player. Maybe pushing towards the teens.
I think the only
Late
time I've
teens.
taken Jaylen Brown's side in an argument is the Derek White stuff. I think that's the only time I've conversations I've had. Now there might be other
I'm not that
conversations
low
that
on
happen.
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I think those are the only conversations I've had where I take Jaylen Brown's side. For the most part, because I always think he just gets compared to people who he's worse than. So I end up being on the anti side. I think I'm just gonna start being quiet when it comes to Jaylen. That's what I did the other day when PC ranked him 7th. I'm just gonna start staying quiet.
Like 7 wild. He's not better than Anthony Edwards. He did not have a better season than Anthony Edwards. Jaylen Brown is I did ask thing like some people think Jaylen Brown is like another version of Ant. Possibly, but a diet version, like a worse version. This is like Kobe T-Mac, and not when like T-Mac was actually as good as I'm saying, like this is like 06.
06?
Yeah, like this is like this is not a conversation at all. Ant is better than Jaylen Brown, like definitively. But salute. Alinar 978 to 199 super chat. Me and Mars finna be the backup guards, Lucky and Britt.
Yeah, I could provide some. You know what I'm saying? Walk the ball up the court with no ball pressure and throw the ball to someone. I could do that.
Alinar 978 with another 199 super chat. Fuck it, we trading JB for Keontae and Laurie now.
I do think the draft could have some interesting trades happen. Obviously, like the Clippers might be like 5th pick and insert salary for Jaylen Brown, and maybe that's the thing. And then Boston reroute the 5th pick to somewhere else to get like a win now type of player. I don't even know who that would be, but I think we could see potential trades. That's it. I think we can see potential trades.
I think Jaylen Brown is going to be.
I think Jaylen Brown's going to be a Celtic, but
yeah, I think the swing was Giannis, but
they didn't want to add Hugo Gonzalez and Baylor Shireman is the report. So hey, you can have Jaylen Brown, but Baylor Shireman, I draw the line. I'm
not gonna lie, that's racism. Dobie Gray for the $5 super chat. I'm happy for the Heat. I'm sad for Giannis. Leaving the team he spent a decade with should have been for a title window, not a second round or Eastern Conference Finals.
I mean, we gotta ask Giannis how he feels. Like that, but next time someone sees Giannis, I don't even know where he's at right now. But next time someone sees Giannis, they gotta ask him what his thoughts are on this. Obviously, he's gonna run the optimism gimmick of
for sure.
Team.
Yeah,
blah blah blah. But like, we just gotta see. I mean, also like we gotta see what Miami does. I refuse to believe that they're done for the offseason. Like, I refuse to believe they're just gonna.
I agree. I agree.
Like, we gotta see what they do. That's it. You just gotta see.
I agree. There's no way they're done. You don't make a move like this, like it's like, yeah, we're win now mode. We need to be looking to improve the roster still. Because now, hey, when you make moves like this, Hey, because this pressure was on New York, you have to win. That is the goal. That is the bars none. We're not holding back anything. If you need more picks from us, if we got to overpay or something like that, you have to win. You don't make these moves getting Giannis at 31 to be a playoff team. Like, that's not, and gave up all you gave up. You gotta look to improve this roster. There's no way they made this move without other moves in the back of their mind. There's just no way. There's no
And
way they're
those
like,
moves
oh
aren't
yeah,
Thanasis and Alex and
yeah.
They're gonna be on the team. Well, is Pat Riley gonna cater? That might be the only team in the league that wouldn't cater to Giannis's demands of getting his brothers on the team.
The Nassas will be on that.
I believe Thanasis will be. I think Alex might be fried. I think Thanasis might be on the team.
Yeah. I think to me, this move to me definitely signaled that, hey, somebody finally got through to the old man. Hey, nigga, you keep one of these players, you're gonna have to torque it up a little bit. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to let LeBron eat these cookies in 2026. Pause. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to sign Thanasis. Bump all that heat culture shit. You're gonna have to give some leeway. It is what it is, gang. It is what it is. Because there's absolutely no chance that Giannis agreed to come to a team that's not going to sign his brother. It's not possible. So again, salute to Pat Riley in the Heat for changing your rate. Hey, an old dog learned a new trick or two. Look at that. Dobie Greg with $2 super chat. I'm sad. I wanted to root and cheer a Giannis title. Oh, are you a Bucks fan?
Just rewatch the 2021 finals.
Facts. That's all you got to do.
You know the Suns were the favorites in that series. Because when I was talking to Chill earlier about the final series favorites, I was going through the years.
Mm-hmm.
The Suns were the favorites. So, salute.
That's interesting.
I know the Warriors who run underdog gimmick, the Warriors were favored to beat the Celtics in 22. So that Warriors underdog gimmick that they run.
Really?
Yeah, it's because the underdog gimmick they run is because people bet on the Celtics. But the betting odds had the Warriors as the favorites. It's like the Celtics running underdog gimmick because everyone bet on the Mavs in 24. Like, it's basically the same argument. The Warriors were the favorites in 22 going into the finals. They were the favorites. So interesting little underdog gimmick they try to run there. But, salute.
I've seen Bron fans try to use 2012 as like a true, like, oh my goodness, we were the underdog. We won that year.
The only reason
I just want people to know, to me, them being the underdog is actually an indictment on LeBron James. That's what that was. To me, that's simply what that was.
We don't believe in LeBron. It was
we don't believe in LeBron in the finals because of 2011. It just happened. To me, because like, if you replace Bron at that time with like, and of course, there's not many of these around the league, but like a player well established that he's a playoff performer or a good finals resume and whatnot, like Miami would have been the favorite.
For sure.
In my opinion. Miami
would have been just a better team. Yeah, they were just a better
team. They were better. Yeah. To me, they should have been the favorite. The best player was better than the other team's best player. The second best player was better than the other team's second best player. Now, was Chris Bosh better than James Harden?
Was Chris Bosh better than James Harden?
Yeah.
I'll probably say James Harden was better. I'm not in the James Harden sucked in the series, but as a player, James Harden's probably better than Chris Bosh by that point, in my opinion.
Probably so.
Oh, Max here still. This ain't even Bron hate, man. The Heat were better than the Thunder. Like, what?
Max, I did not know you were this much of a Bron fan. I'm really learning. Maybe I'm late to the party. I mean, I knew you were a Bron fan, but like, you were in the chat today, man, Chill Cookie all one on. Like, brother, if you think Chill is the one correct here, God bless you. Let me see.
Wade wasn't bad than Russ. Someone just said that.
Huh? Salute
D-Wade,
to
I'm not
you.
gonna lie. I'm gonna have to join you on the D-Wade agenda. People don't understand what Dwayne Wade was. It's cool. Salute.
Hot take. Dwayne Wade was a top 10 player in the league 3 of the 4 years LeBron James was there. Hot take.
Well, 11 and 12 is undeniable. So you're just saying 2013 D-Wade was still top
13. 10. I'm adding 13. How many players you can you get to 10? Can you get to 10?
I mean, I might be higher on a couple players than you around 2013. So obviously you got Braun, Chris Paul, KD. You agree on those 3, right? Just like undeniably.
Mm-hmm. Kobe in 2013.
Kobe 2013, my fault. Like I think where we diverge is by that point, I think like guys like Steph and James Harden have ascended, in my opinion.
Which I'm not mad at Harden. That's first year in Houston, 2013, right?
Yeah, it's 2013 Harden. 20 for me, I got Steph. That would be 5 for me. How do I feel about
13? Is that what was that like 22-9 or something like that?
I don't know what he had. It was his year he had 54 against the Knicks. He should have been an all-star, but David Lee somehow got it.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Steph.
The resurgence of Tim Duncan, I probably would say he's better than Dwayne Wade by that point. Like that year was like crazy. Melo was that 7?
You Tim. Respect.
That's like you. But I give you Melo. Get an argument from me. You ain't about to get an argument from me about 10. 6. Oh no, it's not Tim Duncan. That. Paul George. I've probably got Paul George. Where do I have Paul George? Do I?
2013. I gotta.
He was better in 14 than 13, like quite clearly. But maybe Paul George. That's about 8.
People saying Blake Griffin.
Blake in 13? Nah, Blake wasn't really that guy for me until like 14. For me personally. He's in and around the top 10. I think it's a fair agenda to push, especially when in 2012 he's probably closer to 5 than 10.
Absolutely.
So like in terms of like average placement, because 2011 he's a top 5 player. 2012 at worst he's probably about 7th. And then 2013 at worst he's maybe like 12th or 13th. So you would say, let's just say low end, 5, 7, 13. That'd be 7 plus 13 plus 5. That's 25 divided by 3. It's about average placement of about 8.3. So
am I crazy to say that Dwayne Wade was a top 3 player in 2011?
Crazy, no.
I think Dwayne Wade in 2011
you're a
is
Kobe
better.
Guy, so like I think he was better than Kobe in 2011. But you're a Kobe guy, so
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it, I guess. But I'm also not mad if you think he's better than 2011 KD either.
Yeah, but how do you feel about Dwight?
I don't think respect to Dwight Howard.
Okay. I'm not the highest on Dwight either. He another one. Anytime people be telling me about peak Dwight Howard, you got it, man. I don't see the vision, but
really good. He's not seeing no peak.
I think you can make a valid argument that he had the 2 best players in the world in 2011.
I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's crazy at all. At all. And lost. But it is what it is. And lost. It's crazy. Let me see. Jordan 5855 and 199 super chat. Job, make sure them fries come out crispy, nigga. Oh wow. It's getting disrespectful. Trent 8083 to 499 super chat. I believe this might be a top 5 to 8 defensive team next season, offensively mid. And do this team remind y'all of previous Bucks teams defensive wise?
They're more versatile than the Bucks teams.
Definitely.
Like way more versatile. But yeah, I think that's as of right now, as presently constructed, their avenue to success is be an amazing defense, play super duper fast, and win games that way. Their half court offense looks like it would suck. but that seems like a fine formula to win regular season games,
Oh, absolutely.
which means Giannis back in the MVP
If
race.
they don't make a singular move right now, they're going to be a fantastic regular season team. Now, I think no, come playoff times, that offense, jeez. But regular season, yeah, they're going to get stops, they're going to rebound, and they're going to play fast with Giannis. That's going to win. Absolutely. True. OG team with the $5 super chat. Heat depth looking very questionable. They do have that man at the helm who can turn players we never heard of into solid players. Maybe that is the game plan for Miami. Is hey,
Oh
Eric
my
Spoelstra,
god!
he turn water into wine yet again. We shall see. Brandon Beaumont with 4373 with the $5 super chat. After what Celtics did to acquire Drew, to me, this was revenge. I called it this morning. I love my Celtics, but I saw this coming from a mile away.
Is he the one who sent the super chat saying that this Celtic stuff was all just a distraction? He was going to the Heat the whole time because the Bucks
I
don't
don't
respect the roster?
remember. I don't remember who sent it. I do
still think you're a
remember somebody
conspiracy
sent it.
theorist. I just think the Celtics trade just wasn't very good. I don't think they were thinking, oh, let's spite Boston. Personally.
You never just give in to the conspiracy. Everything isn't what it seems, Mars. Everything isn't what
I
it
mean,
seems.
hey, I'm on the side of Houston were cheated in 2018. I'm on that side. Definitely on the side of the Suns were cheated in 07. Definitely on that side. But I think that's like that and 02 to me are like the most. Tim Donaghy has come out.
02 is crazy.
Like, I want to make like call it Nash Coke if you want. Tim Donaghy has come out and said when it came to the Suns Spurs series in 07, the refs had meetings about things that the Suns would do that they were gonna call fouls and things that the Spurs would do that they would turn a blind eye to. Like, that's documented Tim Donaghy saying that. If that's not like proof of concept that series was rigged, I don't know what is. Like, the head of the Referees Association telling the media, like in an interview, telling them, oh yeah, we didn't like Robert Sarver, the owner in Phoenix. So yeah, we just conspired against them. But it's cool. Steve Nash ain't winning a ring, so I guess he sucks.
Who was the team that came out of those? Oh, Braun.
Yeah.
Bro, Braun would have
Chill would have told me he would have
Come on, bro. I'm picking Braun because Braun. Facts.
Yeah, Chill. The Suns can't guard. Bron gone every 50.
Exactly. Who's stopping Braun from getting 40 every game? Come on now.
Bronstons, you think that Bronstons would learn that the method of who's stopping Bron has led to this guy having 6
You would think.
Like, you think they would learn that
he's
maybe
lost more goddamn times than he's won, and it still hasn't clicked in their dodo brains that, hey, just having Braun isn't a good enough answer. Duh.
Run into every series. Who's stopping Bron though? Okay, but then if I tell him he's lost 6 finals, Bron ain't have enough help. Okay, you can't tell me who's stopping. If the answer to Bron winning series is who's stopping him, I am then going to tell you that every series he's lost is because Bron got stopped. That's the only explanation. Otherwise, he would just win every time he doesn't get stopped. So in 2014, Bron just got stopped. In 2015, Bron just got stopped. In 2017 and 18, Bron just got stopped. That's the only explanation. If the answer to why they lose, why they would win is who's going to stop Bron, every time they lose, it must be because the team managed to stop Bron. It can't be about help. Clearly, it can't be about help. So in 07, they just stopped Bron. That's it. It's not about help. They just stopped Bron. 2011, they just stopped Bron. Can't be about help. 2014, just stopped Bron. So that's my new thing now. That's my new thing.
It's really funny. Like that dead ass doesn't click for them. That realization. It dead ass doesn't. But salute to y'all. Hey man, some of y'all, it is what it is. Some of y'all are too far gone. There's no saving you.
You're gonna get called a hater again for this, by the way.
Absolutely, you will. For speaking logically. The times that we live in. Teddy with the $4.99 super chat. Real talk. What do you think the Rockets are getting for bum ass shampoo? I did see the report to where they were saying like, hey, they're willing to get off their what you call all-star level player.
They should have traded Shengun so long ago.
Yeah. I don't know what they can get for Sengun. It's gonna. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't see how Sengun is a useful basketball player.
It would have to be like a team near the bottom of the league that just lacks
Yeah.
talent.
Uh-huh.
That would just be like, oh, we can invest in Şengün. I don't know if that's like a Kings, Memphis.
But then here's the thing: like when you're trading with those caliber of teams, like who are you getting back? That's
Zach LaVine, maybe. Like that's what would be a Şengün for Zach LaVine type thing. Maybe. But I'm spitballing here. Like,
oh yeah, I know, but I'm saying like, and I think Zach, you're gonna have to add in another player.
Dorian Finney-Smith. They good off Dorian. They good off Dorian Finney-Smith.
And like, what does Zach LaVine do for the like? Are you better?
More shooting, another
Sure,
score.
you're
Zach LaVine is
better.
better than Şengün, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Definitely.
that's not what I'm even like. I'm just saying like in total, like you're still
Yeah, the needle has not
you're
moved.
like it's whatever, man. Let me see. Next super chat.
Ooh, Julius Randle. Just reroute him from Brooklyn. Şengün for Julius Randle.
If they go from Alfred Şengün to Julius Randle, I'm not watching a single dribble of that team next year. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not watching a single dribble. Jordan King with the 58, not with the 58. Jordan King 5855 199 super chat. He do any moves 2012 finals rematch on the way.
Okay, see Miami.
Okay, so yeah.
This offseason should be interesting. Now that like the big domino has fallen, every team now can make their moves around. Yeah. So we'll see.
I won't be surprised if tomorrow is like it's just hitting.
Oh yeah, draft night. Yeah, it's gonna be trades all over.
Yeah. And the big domino is going just like you said.
Yeah.
So yeah, now it's finna be a shit show tomorrow. So get ready.
Shout out to the Suns getting Colin Gillespie and Jordan Goodwin re-signed, by the way. I think those are really good moves. So no one's ever going to talk about them. So yeah, shout out to them.
I miss Jordan on the Lakers. Really, he was solid.
Minus that, was it against the Celtics when he just
bonehead for a few minutes, and I think that got him cut. I dead ass think that stretch made him not a Laker again. Because every other time he was cool. He was good.
That was so crazy.
Desto 832. Shout out to Desto with the 499 super chat. The Wolves, Bulls, Nets deal makes things interesting for Reeves and the Lakers. With his cap hold, still pay him 40 plus after spending 52 million. Yeah, I did see somebody say this. They're like, even if we were to pay Austin Reeves, like we would still have some flexibility, some cap flexibility, still do some stuff. If that's an option, I'm not mad at that at all. Again, I hope that doesn't mean like, oh, we have real money to pay Bron. I'm good off that. But like, if you can go out there and get you a center, still need a quality 3. Yeah, if you can improve the roster and still sign Austin Reeves, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. Red Hood 6378 199 super chat. Jalen for KD, real talk.
Boston got a lot better.
Sure.
Houston,
and if I'm the Rockets, I may consider it but just because of the youth, the age gap. Like that's really all I was doing. Because like, do you think that Jaylen Brown right now is a better trade asset than Kevin Durant? Do you think?
Probably. I mean, I don't know how long's left on Kevin Durant's contract. So if it's running down, then maybe it's like valuable because you get Kevin Durant, but you don't have to pay him into his 40s.
Yeah.
Because he has a player option after next season. Yeah, he has a player option after next season. But so yeah, I don't know, maybe. But Kevin Durant's the better player and the better overall shooter and like off-ball guy and all of that stuff. rim protection. But Jaylen Brown is like downhill pressure that Kevin Durant doesn't really have anymore. The issue is put him in Houston with that spacing. If you put the ball in his hands, that might be a lot of turnovers. A lot. Like record breaking relative to like touches.
Well, don't actually all NBA PG Fred VanVleet is going to be back next year, so he's gonna fix all of that. You know, it actually would be funny though. It just theoretically, if that trade were to happen.
Sorry, I read this picture.
Yeah, this was. I don't know if this is true or not. I'm sure you're gonna check it, but let's say Fred VanVleet did come back, and like Jaylen Brown, low key do like hoop, and they win. Oh, this is why Jaylen Brown is better than Kevin. Because he gets to play with the point guard. You know, that's how stuff works. Haddon with the 199 super chat. Spurs finals defensive rating. Wemby on the court, 112.6. Wemby off the court, 112.1.
Nice.
He said, as per Pivot Fade, he even cited his source.
I mean, yeah, I believe him. I'm not gonna accuse him of lying. I don't really have a response to that, to be honest. Yeah. Then I was wrong about saying the negative.
Oh, so you got cooked.
Sure.
Yeah, you got cooked.
It's the same thing when I said the Wolves were a good defense in 2018. Then they were right above the Cavs. Whoops.
Right
I mean, with Wemby on the court, they still anchored a negative 10 defense. So, you know, that still does help. Just the on-off.
In the rest of the playoffs or playoffs in total?
No, against the Knicks, it was still a negative 10 defense with him on the court. But no, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that wouldn't. That couldn't be. 112?
No, but because the Knicks in the series had a 108. So if they have a 112 with Wemby on and a 112 with Wemby off, where's the 108 come from? Just mathematically, like something's not adding up.
Let me see. Let me check Pivot real quick for you. Did you lie? Did you lie? I had a lot of faith in you, kid. I had a lot of faith in you. Let me see.
Let's see.
How you even?
Oh man.
Oh, they want me to pay to bring up to show series stats. I'm not about to do that, unfortunately. That's tough.
All right, bear with me. I got it. Now he's right with the Pivot Fade numbers. He's not lying based on the numbers. It's just that just doesn't add up.
He said it might be calculated differently. That would have to mean that
it might be, yeah. So like once again, I believe him because I'm looking at it right now. They had a net rating of 0 with Wemby on the court. Because their offense and defense was literally the same. And then with them off the court, their defense got slightly better, 112.1, but their offense obviously fell off a cliff, 93.2, negative 19 net rating. Now, obviously, once again, this is why the on-off stuff, adjust for lineups, who's out there when Wemby's not out. Like all of that stuff is all relevant factors, but their defense was good with or without Wemby on the court in the finals. Now, it's interesting that the numbers can be that. That's why also the stats are funny because, like, depending on what site you go on, you end up with different numbers.
Exactly.
But apparently it's all objective. Yeah, it's all just objective, apparently, I guess.
And we have come to love to contextualize winning. And I've been saying this now for some time. There are so many factors that go into stats. So many variables go into stats. But hey, we can context winning to death. But nobody ever wants to context statistics to death. So, but whatever, I guess, is what it is. We're here now. Shout out to you niggas that ruined basketball discourse. Zay Allen, 05, with the 199 super chat. Mars, you think Curry better than Duncan? Duh.
I think when I made the list last time, I had stuff above Duncan, and that was all time. That's even factoring in longevity. Peak for peak, hell yeah, he better than Duncan. I don't even think it's that close.
Wait, I don't have Curry over Duncan. My fault. And I'm saying duh.
Yeah, let's see if you're a fraud.
Oh man. Oh no, I
Yeah,
know I have Duncan.
you had Duncan at 7 and Steph at 9.
Yeah, that's how I tier my players. Two-way big offensive engine. So actually, there was no way for Steph
So
to be
why
better
Jerry
than
West
Tim
below
Duncan.
Steph? He a 2-way.
Um, uh, respect to Steph. I'm just, if somebody,
Yeah.
because I'm already labeled a Steph hater, you know what I'm saying? So I give my props to Steph Curry, man. You know what I'm saying? I just want, because if I were to dare go around saying that Jerry West is better than Steph Curry, everybody would just say this hate, as if there's no objective way to get there. So, it is what it is, man. You already said that you can make an argument that Jerry West is the second best guard of all time over Kobe Bryant
Yeah.
and Steph.
Yeah. Jerry West is amazing. Shout out to Jerry West, man.
Shadow 57, X7G with the 499 super chat. It shows you even knowledgeable hoop heads still resort to the most casually still resort to the most casually not knowing ball arguments. Oh, okay. When it comes to their faves, chill with Brian. Yeah, I mean, we have biases. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and that's why I just come out and just say I do. I don't even try to run around the fact that I do. Yes, if we're going to talk about Kobe Bryant, I'm coming from a biased standpoint, but I believe in my bias, so I believe I'm correct. But that's basically the gig. Can you convince others of your bias? Is basically what we do on a show-to-show, day-to-day basis for the most part. That's the game. Can I convince you my bias is the correct bias?
What a weird
Welcome to
job we
content
have.
creation.
Yeah.
Yeah, in debate culture. Welcome. Let me see where I'm at. The shout out 23 with the 499 super chat. Rank these players 1 through 4: Jaylen Brown, Jalen Johnson, Devin Booker, Tyrese Maxey. See, I think Jaylen Brown's the best player in this group.
We getting revitalized book next year.
Mm.
New number. We locked in. Nah, it's probably Jalen Johnson's last for me.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, Devin Booker, Jalen Johnson.
Jaylen Brown, Devin Booker, Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Johnson. I'm getting lower by the day on Tyrese Maxey. I'm
You're
not
just
going to lie.
joining where I've been for like 3 years at this point. But I've been a hater of Tyrese
6'1"
Maxey.
guard
That's fine.
that has to be at the rim or shoots volume threes, which low-key he don't be hitting, but whatever. And as a poor pull-up mid-range shooter, but hey, he gets 28. So he's, I guess, brother. I guess. Maxey, I know what you are. Salute to you. You're Kingston Flemings or whatever that nigga name is with great opportunity. Sorry. That's what you are. It's what you are. I think those are all the super chats. We appreciate you pulling up, man, and staying for it to be 750 plus people here the whole time, and it is the middle of the night, early morning. It's early morning in where Mars is at in Britain, right? Well, let me not dox you. Mars is in Arkansas. So we appreciate Mars. You know what I'm saying? Let's get a finger snap in the chat for Mars. You know what I'm saying? Finger snap in the chat for Mars. We appreciate him pulling up. We appreciate y'all staying. You know what I'm saying? Again, this late, this many people, incredible. Make sure that you like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, turn the notification bell on so you know we're live when we drop another video. And also, I'm going to be adding Mars's YouTube to the ad in the title, so you can click over there And make sure that you subscribe to his channel as well. Mars, you want to let the people know where else they can find you? I'm
Yeah,
mad that all of y'all hands white, by the way. That's crazy.
you cultivate a certain audience. I can't say I'm surprised. MarzTalksSports on YouTube. Me and John D will be going live tomorrow for the NBA draft. So type in with us for that. Real talk, you're invited if you want. I know you don't do a whole lot with the draft, but you are
I
invited if
sure
you want.
don't, man.
Yeah, so you compare Kingston Flemings to you said bench guard. I was like, okay, cool, salute to you. At least you're trying, I guess. I don't know.
What? That doesn't make sense. That's off to you.
It's just you was talking like, oh yeah, no, best case scenario, yeah, bench guard, yeah, cool. Crazy. The guy's projected to go like 8th. Bench guard, yeah, cool.
Hey,
I mean, he might end up being that. Who knows? But yeah,
Rob Dillingham was the what pick?
Salute to him, man. Reese Shepard was first. Reese Shape was first. But yeah, so we're going live for that tomorrow. Find me on the panel during the week, Monday through Friday. Follow me on Twitter, X, or whatever, MarzTalksSports over there. All of this is optional, obviously, but yeah, that's where you can find me. MarzTalksSports on every platform, actually. It's really it.
Again, you have the luxury of doing that. I need to create something to where
I need to change my name. I want to be just Marz. I need to get it changed. But
you do. I'm thinking about just going to but I can't just be EJ though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You're real talk. You're real talk.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I like the great branding work, but we're here now. We're here now. Yeah, I'm gonna think of kind of stuff. But yeah, make sure you tap in with Marz. Again, his YouTube will be in the title. Click over there, subscribe. Again, appreciate everybody pulling up and staying. It's been a good one, been a fun one. Peace. Wait, the hoop talk. No, that was supposed to be. When was that best for you? You said?
Oh, Town Hall.
Oh, Town Hall. Yeah, Buffalo. Town Hall. Yeah.
Wednesday's just not a great day, to be honest.
Okay, that's fine.
Friday or Saturday probably work best for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will have an announcement out by one of those days, but Town Hall episode coming this week, so make sure that y'all tap into that. We want to see. Hey, it's the off season, man. Come up here and have something to say. I'm gonna speak for Marz as well. Okay, I think we're both in alignment on this. We don't want people coming up here saying the same shit we say earlier in the day. Okay, we don't want to hear repeated thoughts over and over again. We want to hear you all's unique opinion. To me, that is the point of the show. I know that, me and him be cooking. I understand. It's easy to agree with. But the point of the show to me is I like hearing other people's opinion, right? I like somebody potentially changing my mind. As y'all know, I'm Mr. Flip Flop Talk, right? I'm all over the place, right? I genuinely be trying to hear other viewpoints and if I agree with them or not. You know what I'm saying? So come up here with a interesting, unique opinion. Come up here with some smoke as well. We not ducking, no fades. We put the link out for a reason. Everybody be having an opportunity. It be so many people got so much to say in your Twitter replies, in your YouTube comment sections, and these niggas never hit the link. I'm talking to you, Max. Huh? I'm talking to you, Frank. Talking to y'all. Y'all be having so much to say in the chat. Don't ever hit that goddamn link. All right? So hit the link. Come up. We want to smoke. We don't duck no fades. But again, we will tell you when that will be scheduled, sometime Friday or Saturday. But we are out for tonight. Peace, love, and blessings to you all. Giannis, is now in Miami Heat.
Merry
Peace.
Christmas.